gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up, you check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of Sporttrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the Sporttrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinny wheels. Live bets on Sporttrade are instantly accepted. Download Sporttrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
Sporttrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Hi, I'm Chuck McDowell, the timeshare cancellation guy and founder of Wesley Financial Group. And I want to set the record straight. I am not an attorney. I've never wanted to be an attorney. And the truth is, I really don't even like attorneys. If I sound like an attorney or if I look like an attorney, I'll apologize. But what I've learned in my 15 years in the timeshare cancellation business is you don't need to be an attorney to get folks out of their timeshare. At Wesley, we've helped over 40,000 families cancel their timeshare without me being an attorney. And I want to share with you how we do it. Just give my office a call, and you will not talk to an attorney. And I guarantee if we take you as a client, we'll get you out of your timeshare, or you'll pay nothing.
Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-969-7766. 800-969-7766. 800-969-7766.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group. Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Thursday here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. Got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580. Will be broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. Hey, Suns won a game last night. Wow.
How about that? How about that, huh?
I don't know what to do with that, to be honest.
It's a game they were supposed to win, so you always want to win those.
Just been a while, you know. I don't know how to feel. Don't know what to do. Don't know what to think. Hopefully, more wins will come. That's the only thing I can put together in my cranium right now. But all right, great. They beat the Nets, and they should. They should beat. They should also beat Washington. Nothing personal.
It's none taken.
Yeah,
Washington's bad.
Should happen. But listen,
they've already beaten them once, so do it again.
Yeah. So there's that. Yay, that's great. And then we're looking over. It's like, okay, how is this Jimmy Butler thing going to happen? How are we going to get this to happen? And as we're desperately trying to move draft picks around and figure out who's going to be our partner into this and that, and how are we going to do this, the Bucks haven't even like they're trying to play coy. They're like, who's this Bradley Beal you're talking of? They don't even, they act like they care. But here goes Jimmy Butler. He's just like, yeah, just not get on the plane. And so now he's been suspended for a couple of games on that. And to show how sad and sorry he was, he went to a party and had a great time. Many pictures of him at this party having a great time.
Yeah, well, he never said he was sorry, and he isn't sorry.
No, not even a little. Nope. It was probably no accident that he missed that plane.
That's why his name is Jimmy Butler.
Though the thing is, he kind of let them off the hook a little bit, because part of his strategy with them has been to put a lot of pressure on them by being in front of the media constantly, having a microphone in his face. And this is a primetime game that he's suspended from. So they don't have to worry about, well, boy, what happens if a reporter talks to Jimmy? Because you know what he's going to do. He's going to say something ridiculous. He's going to say something crazy and try to make the Miami Heat look bad, which is his strategy.
What color was his braids at this party?
Well, I don't know. I didn't look that close. It didn't look that close.
Maybe they were purple and orange.
I don't care. Wait a second. Jimmy Butler. Tell me what his background is with the. I get everybody mixed up. He's not the one that beat up a kid, is he?
No.
Okay. What
was Ja?
That was John Morant. What did Jimmy
allegedly?
What did Jimmy Butler do allegedly? Nothing.
Nothing. All of his stuff is basketball.
All
stuff.
basketball. Okay.
Yeah.
The only thing about Jimmy Butler that I see in this whole thing is he's older.
Mm-hmm. Then
Butler,
what?
He's not a young man. He's a bit older. He's in his mid-30s, I think.
Okay.
I mean, he's averaging 17 points a game this season.
Listen, everybody is in their 30s, except for is Booker 30 yet?
I don't
know if he's even crossed that line yet, but everyone else is in the uppers of 30.
And he's a 35-year-old kid is what he is. He's just a kid. He's a guy that he likes to mess around. He likes to do you remember? I know we're not a big tennis sports thing, but do you remember in the news Jimmy Butler at the American Open? What is it? The tennis
US Open.
US Open, and he went out there dressed as a ball boy, a 6'7" ball boy. Believe that,
but he wasn't actually a ball boy.
He went out there. He was on the court. He was throwing balls around to people.
Well, he sounds fun.
Was doing that.
Yeah, but it was like between matches. He wasn't out there like actually.
No, he wasn't during a
in,
match.
Yeah.
No, not during a match.
I don't know. He's got the connections to make that happen. He did that.
What he did was he had a friend park a car in front of the driveway of one of the real ball boys, so he couldn't leave the house. And he showed up and took his place.
Took his place.
Yeah,
took his uniform.
Yeah, why not? Yeah. Why not? So what you're saying is Jimmy Butler's a little weird, a little fun, a little frustrating, and at some point, if he ends up on the Phoenix Suns, we're gonna hate him too.
Well, I don't think we're going to hate him. We're going to really like him because he's.
Do you think Miami Heat fans love Jimmy Butler right now?
Not right now, but when he took them to the finals with a team that was composed of, Gabe Vincent and others, yeah, I think they loved him then. Like that's the thing with Jimmy.
Do they love him now?
You love him until you do not. And so the question is, can Jimmy help you win before you get to the part of your arc with Jimmy where you don't? Because there was a point where he was loved in Philadelphia until he wasn't. And then there was a point where he was loved in Minnesota until he wasn't. And now he's doing it in Miami. It's just the cycle of Jimmy Butler.
Like I've said, if the woman who is with you now is cheating on her husband with you, later on, she will cheat on you with the next guy. And that's what Jimmy Butler is. Jimmy Butler, he's going to show up and everybody's like, yay. And then a little bit later, we're all going to be like, oh.
I don't know, because I think this move, I think will probably be his last move in the NBA. Again, he's 35 years old. I just looked up his age. He's born in 89. So he's 35 years old. And I don't know if he's going to be moving around again. I think he's looking to get an extension probably finish out his career. But I mean, I don't look, I understand how talented Jimmy Butler is. But do we really want him? Do we really want Jimmy Butler on this team?
I find myself eyeballing these draft picks personally. I'm like, wait a second. well, maybe we just work on that.
Just keep the picks, and
we got a couple of guys that are young, and maybe they'll be something or whatever, and a little something to build on. We don't have to be getting a title today. We'll work on the title in a couple of years. But right,
I agree. But again, your owner wants a title, and he wants one now.
He wants one now,
and that's the decision making, and all of the decision making going all the way back to the Durant trade is I got to win one right now. That's where his mind is.
I want to be the owner that brought a title to this town and this franchise.
I don't mind a title in a couple of years. And I think that mistakes were made when we had some really nice pieces that could have evolved into something even better.
I mean, but what have they done since they left? Have we really heard much from them since they left?
They've done well on the teams that they're on. They have continued to grow their game, and they're really good players.
Bridges has been really good.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges has been really good.
I mean, it's
Cam Johnson's been all right.
Yeah.
But Mikal Bridges has been really good.
Yeah. Bridges and listen, and I miss Cam Johnson as well, but they foundational pieces is what I would call them. Foundational pieces.
You need guys like that on a roster. You can't have 1 through 5 superstars. I think we've pretty much proven that here. That if you have, have 3 of them, that still doesn't mean that you do anything.
Well, yeah, okay, I understand that, and I'm with Jeffrey. I'm eyeing. Do I want Jimmy Butler on this team? Jimmy Butler doesn't just want to be on the Suns either. Remember, he's got other teams. He's eyeballing. The Houston Rockets.
He narrowed that list.
Team.
He narrowed that list down to Phoenix.
Yeah,
that he wants here.
It's it. We are it for him.
So as far as that goes, like Jimmy's not. His list was 4 teams, and then when Pat Riley pushed him, he pushed back and said, "You know what? Instead of 4 options, now you've got 1." That's basically and he chose here. So I don't know if that means anything to Pat Riley, but it means something to Matt Ishbia, who has been trying to get James Jones to move heaven and earth to open up an opportunity for it.
You've got an aging Kevin Durant. You've got Devin Booker, who's not aging, but he's coming into it. He's in his prime right now. You've got a guy that Bradley Beal that we probably. And I don't mean any disrespect, Keon, but we probably should have never brought him in to this team.
Keon didn't have anything to do with it.
Yeah, but he's a wizard, and
he was
a
wizard.
I see.
And I'm not taking any disrespect to it because I like Bradley Beal a lot, but his contract was bad.
Well,
you can't have a
bad
guy
contract.
You're welcome, Keon.
Yeah, I mean
he's oft injured.
He's often injured, but like so are all the other guys on the team. But they don't have the contract that's escalating like his. Where he also has a no trade clause. Like, I'm sorry, that's an awful contract.
Yeah.
Ringless Joe says Will Levis as Chuck McDowell. I'm not a quarterback, and if I sound like a quarterback or if I look like a quarterback, I apologize. I learned you don't have to be a quarterback to sell mayonnaise.
Oh my God!
Nicely done, Ringless Joe.
Will Levis. He's right on the ball again, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm sorry, but Chuck McDowell's just about lost his last marble, hasn't he? He just sounds like a guy who's.
I don't know. He just seems like a really nice guy that I don't know exactly what it is that he's selling.
Well, he gets you out of timeshare.
Gets you out of timeshare.
I got that. It's just I didn't realize there were so many people trapped in timeshares.
Oh yeah,
you could build an entire business.
That's a good question. We've got quite a few listeners here. Let's find out. Is anyone listening currently trapped in a timeshare? I'm kind of curious because I don't know anybody in a timeshare. Do you know anybody in a timeshare, Randy?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, really? Who's that?
I have a few friends. One's my daughter and her husband.
How did they get roped into that?
I think Glenn, my son-in-law, already had the timeshare when he married my daughter. So,
and now that's directly attributable to you.
No,
they'll come to you now.
Well, no,
no. That's how timeshare bastards work.
They have not come to me one time, and I think it's a money drain on them. However, they did just go to the Cayman Islands or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
So for their day,
They use their
Right, their
timeshare
day,
in the
yeah.
Cayman Islands, I guess.
Keon, do you know anybody with a timeshare?
Not personally, no.
Do you have a timeshare?
No.
I don't either.
I can't. Do I have a time?
I don't have a timeshare.
I would just buy the place outright. I don't think I would have a timeshare.
Right.
Uh,
I mean, a guy with your kind of money, Jeffco, you could do that.
Yeah. I don't like to share.
Yeah.
Berg, we're going to talk about that later. Good to hear from you. Kringleberry says Jimmy Butler did the emo haircut thing. Jimmy Butler, that's one thing you'll say. I will say he has had many, many, many haircuts.
He's a big kid. I
Many
keep
different
telling you,
haircuts.
he's got an enormous sense of humor.
That's
He
great.
really
Actually,
does.
I appreciate that. I do appreciate that. It's just when things go sour, they go really sour. Well, I
it's
just hate to see it.
Well, when Jimmy Butler faces up against the law, so to speak, with old greasy hair, the Godfather, and the Godfather keeps telling him, "We'll do things my way," and Jimmy's like, "No, sorry."
Jimmy probably should have listened to the guy who has all that experience, though, don't you think?
I think that Jimmy Butler doesn't want to be in Miami.
Yeah,
and Jimmy Butler wants to move on somewhere else that's not as stale as Miami right now. And Miami's a stale team.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Fish Tank is on the text line. He says, update from yesterday. Here's when we go on at the Yucca Tap Room. His band, Light Sleeper, is opening for Spark of Life at the Yucca Tap Room. That starts, well, he says he's going to be there at like 7-ish. So if you want to have a beer with him, you come by. But his band will probably be expected to play at 9 p.m. And
9 p.m.
if another band comes in and they might get pushed back a little bit, but 9 the earliest, maybe 10. But you just come down, have a drink, listen to some music, hang out, have a good time. So
look, if I'm going to the Yucca Tap Room, I'm wanting that whiskey with the that's dressed out with the bacon on top.
Why not? Why not?
It's a perfectly
I'm-
good piece of bacon with a perfectly good
Oh,
glass of whiskey.
Do you dip the bacon?
I don't know
if you want.
I don't.
I guess
know,
so.
Maybe
Or you could curl the bacon, put it in the shot glass, and just
No, you don't curl it up yet. Oh, it looked like a crunchy piece of bacon.
Mm.
Just the way you and I like it, Jeffco.
I got to make some bacon this weekend. Gonna have to
Mm.
make some bacon.
Look, the weekend is the best time to make bacon.
Big George says Jimmy Butler's attitude problems worry me. I don't want that cancer on my team. Blow it up and start all over. Well, like Keon says, he doesn't show up a cancer. He shows up, helps you win. Then somewhere along the lines, he gets tired of you, and then he moves on to the next woman.
Because
I think
Jimmy Butler, the Miami Heat went to 2 NBA finals. They had no business going to because of him.
Yeah,
They didn't win them, but he got them there.
Is he still that guy?
I think he's the kind of guy. He shows up. He's very energetic, and I think he helps your team right away. Just like Keon said, he took Miami to 2 NBA finals.
Yeah, and I do think I think he still can be that guy. I also think that he's different from Beal in that he's a much more aggressive player. He's more aggressive as far as being that voice in the locker room that this team kind of desperately needs, and he's more aggressive in terms of, look, I just go to the basket, man. Like, that's how I play the game. I think that change might be able to unlock some things for the Suns, and then of course if it doesn't, well,
Jeffrey,
it is a gamble. It is a gamble.
Jeffrey, he's a 5-time and all NBA defensive player.
But like you said, he's later in years. Is he still that guy?
He
is
is still that guy.
And
The question
that's
is,
what
how
we-
many more years of that do you have?
Right.
But this team is already a win now built team, so you might as well. I don't know. I think you might as well lean into. He's giving you something right now. Every other decision you've made, if you're Matt Ishbia, has been built around right now. So that's where your math is being done.
Why does all the Arizona teams? Why do I always see we're getting the aged, players?
It's a
Diamondbacks
combo deal.
pick
Well,
up the
either they
aged
don't want to
players.
ever spend any money, or they come in ready to spend a ton of money, and and then
The Diamondbacks are just cheap. So
Well,
if you-
Diamondbacks
if you
did
want-
pretty well when the first year. They did all that the first year,
Yeah,
and then
this
we
is-
won a
this is
World Series.
The team now. This is a different ownership group than the team.
Well,
that
he's
won that
asking
World Series.
why does this happen in Phoenix? And it's just I don't know. It's just the personalities of the owners that come in. It just
I
they
guess
don't
I'm just-
seem to want to wait. They don't want to wait, and then they end up having to wait because they blew it.
Yeah, and I think the Cardinals don't necessarily have that right now. Who's the aging Cardinal?
No, you're right. I mean, I just feel like the Diamondbacks, the Cardinals, the Suns, they always pick up the aged player. You know, the guy that's been there, done that.
Who's the
And
aged one for the Cardinals? It'll be the
Well, you're
next free agent quarterback that has to step in because Kyler's gone.
Yeah, but that guy doesn't.
It'll
That guy
probably
doesn't.
be
That guy doesn't have to
Carson
be aging.
Wentz.
Yeah, but he's just saying it just seems like that's how it works here. You know what I mean?
I guess I just think you have three different situations. You've got one owner that just said, "Let me get the biggest names right now, win." The other ownership group, they're cheap,
But
They
it
don't-
changes. It does. It changes. It goes in waves, and we just don't ever seem to have a thoughtful, well thought, considered, smart attack. It's either feast or famine when it comes to the way things happen, and neither has produced any championships except for with the Diamondbacks in the beginning. So, how long have you been in Arizona now?
Which is why
3, 4? How many? 4 years?
Yeah,
6 more years. We'll have this conversation again. You'll understand.
I guess this is why I'm rooting for the Cardinals though, because I think Monty Austin Fort's not doing it that way. I think the guy's trying to build through the draft, and the team is incredibly young, and they do have a lot of talent that just needs to be developed and grown. So
Here's hoping.
That's a team that's doing it, the quote unquote right way.
Yeah, plus or minus a Kyler Murray.
But this group didn't draft.
I know
Okay,
that. I'm
that's
just
what
saying they're
trying to
stuck
say.
with him. They're stuck with him. And so still they're still stuck with the sins of the father.
Yeah, but not forever. Like contracts end. you just ride it out.
Oh, well, here's the thing, Keon. You're also a fair amount younger than Randy and I. We don't have much time left. So this is hurtful for us. This is like fine for you. This is like kind of matters to us. Fifth letter says, you think Radio Ron will
his
rent?
contract isn't a 20-year contract. There's like 3 more years left on it.
When you get to this age, it feels like 20
Seems
years.
like forever. Yeah.
Fifth letter says, you think Radio Ron will rent a party van and have a fourth dimension to, help him get to the show on Friday? Yeah, so we can all have a designated driver. You talking
That's
about
what we
going
need.
to the light sleeper show?
We need a party van. That's what we need.
You got to get your own Uber, man.
I'm tired of when I jump out of the van and run into the crowd,
Mhm.
it being somebody else's van. AKA
Right.
the time that you
Yeah.
Jeffrey had to grab me out of the crowd
Yeah.
and then put me back in the van, and then I had to put my clothes back.
It did require a rope because I didn't want to touch
Yeah.
you at that
Oh, yeah.
point.
Well,
but
I mean,
we used to know a guy who had a party van,
Yeah.
and it smelled funny, and I was glad we never used it for anything. But that was just literally a short school bus painted with spray paint. It was not. It was scary.
No,
it was a little bit rapey, kind of. You know what I mean?
Sort of creepy.
So, but yeah, a party van would be awesome. That'd be fun. As long as you like make sure there's no carpet, because people you're gonna have to
Yeah,
hose
we
that
don't need
thing
carpet.
out.
Yeah, we need something kind of like the back of a police car where you could just hose that baby out.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
with drainage holes.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
sort of thing.
Mm.
Magnificent Mr. Mormon says, sorry, Suns fans, Jimmy Butler is not coming to Phoenix. Nobody
Oh,
wants
yeah.
to take on the Bradley Beal contract. You made your bed, Suns fans. Now you have
Now
to
you gotta
lie in
sleep
it.
in it,
Well,
yeah.
we didn't make the bed. The
No.
fans didn't make the bed.
No.
Other people made the bed.
That is true.
And also Miami doesn't mind the contract, from what I understand. The question is who is going to be part of the third team to help him get there.
And why would the Bucks want to help us get anywhere? Do you remember we played them in the finals once? They don't care
because
about us.
they beat us in the
Yeah,
in
they
the
don't want
finals.
us. They don't want us to win. All right, let's take a break. I'm getting thinky wheel on the text line, so it's like a hint. So when we come back, I'll catch up on the text line, and we'll talk more about this and other exciting things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. This update brought to you by Sport Trade. Download the Sport Trade app and use code VSIN to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
NBA, the Phoenix Suns are back home on Saturday. They'll take on the Washington Wizards. Start of a 3-game homestand. The Suns are back from a 5-game road trip where they went 3-2. Wednesday night, they beat the Brooklyn Nets 108-84. Devin Booker had 32 points. College basketball, Arizona State will be home in Tempe as they take on number 3 Iowa State on Saturday. The Sun Devils are 11-7. They're coming off a win in Morgantown on Tuesday night, beating West Virginia to snap a 4-game losing skid. While the Arizona Wildcats are home in Tucson Saturday to take on Colorado. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Everybody's got a podcast these days. Comedy, politics, true crime, you name it. But how many actually teach you anything useful? Harman Solar has an entertaining podcast that is vital if you've been thinking about looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Ralph and Ben explore the intricacies of utilities, equipment, processes, and more. Their primary objective is to educate and empower you to make informed decisions on your solar journey. So increase your knowledge, not your bills. Go check it out right now. It's the Harman Solar Podcast at harmansolar.com.
The Weekend Warriors are hosting a super duper Super Sunday pregame show.
And you're invited. Join us on February 9th from 9 to noon at the Spot Neighborhood Grill in Glendale.
Of course, we'll talk about the upcoming big game.
We'll have special guests and great audience giveaways.
And you'll get to meet me in person.
They'll get to meet all of us in person.
Yeah, but I'm the best looking one of the bunch.
Anyways, join us as we broadcast live from the Spot Neighborhood Grill on Bell Road in Glendale.
February 9th from 9 to noon before the big game.
Right here on 1580 The Fanatic.
It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Bullseye says, I'm trapped in a timeshare. It's called my wife. Wait a second. What do you mean? See that? It sounds like a flirting joke. Then you're like, wait, who do you share your wife with?
Yeah.
That's not good at all. Ringless Joe says, is it just me or did Ben Johnson press conference? Okay, I'm stopping you right here. We're talking NBA, Ringless Joe. I am not reading your stuff until we are talking football. So stop it. Listen, we're all about left turns and changing subjects and whatever, but you are notorious constantly, sending in stuff that is not relevant to what we're talking about. See, this was better. He says, I think Matt Ishbia is stuck in a timeshare with that Bradley Beal contract.
Oh,
again, doesn't really, it makes as much sense as saying your wife is caught in a timeshare. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
but he is stuck in that contract though. Yeah.
Great text made Keon laugh very, very hard about Chuck McDowell, but now just stop it with always making it about the Lions. Quiet Cannon says the Diamondbacks are teenager average age compared to the Dodgers and the Yankees. Well, ages, but talent level.
Yeah.
They've now also, by the way, Randy, you have to really utilize all the youth you can find when the Dodgers and the Yankees have purchased every other contract of every player that it happens to be. How is there a limit to how many players you can have on a team in baseball?
No, there's not a limit, but I mean,
at some point when they have 382 players on max contracts on the Yankees, won't Major League Baseball step in or something?
On the
or
Yankees?
the Dodgers or whatever. I'm just talking about these teams are just buying everybody.
Well, I mean, that's what this team does. They go out and they purchase the best players, and that's what it is about baseball that I kind of don't like, because that means that these big teams, Boston, New York, LA, they can go out and buy whoever they want to. Their ownership group is just got these seemingly limitless pockets, and they can go out and purchase everybody, like the Dodgers have been doing as of late.
Must be nice.
Ralph is like, yeah, it's fair. What's stopping your team from spending?
Well,
you know that despite the fact that all of the people who own these teams are billionaires, they're not all the same level of wealthy.
Well, I mean, I think there should be a salary cap in baseball. I think there should be totally a salary cap to help even the playing field.
If this continues, I think you're going to get that salary cap. I think eventually it might be coming.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Because I mean, rich teams have been buying championships for
Yeah.
As long as they,
it feels like it's more excessive than it has been
because the
in the
Yankees,
past.
the Yankees of my childhood were just throwing money at every star like it
Oh,
was
yeah.
going out of
This
style,
is
and it was just that
always been. Yeah.
and it was pretty excessive back then too.
We got to find a company like that for us.
Mm.
Who's throwing money at radio guys? Where's that company?
Please.
Yeah. Berg says, NBA, can we talk about the new 3x3 league where Brittany Griner is trying out? More interesting than the Phoenix Suns right now. Yeah, I was surprised. Not surprised, I guess. It happens in the course of anybody's career, male, female, whatever. But she is testing free agency out there right now. I don't know about this 3x3 league. Am I saying it right?
It's 3-on-3.
3 on. Well, he has an X, so
yeah.
3-on-3 league. So when does that start? And is that a thing that will actually take players out of the WNBA?
It shouldn't. It doesn't happen.
It's not the same time.
Yeah,
okay.
It's a different timeline. It's just an opportunity for people to be able to make some money during the offseason, essentially, without having to leave the country and start playing. And you're playing.
Oh, I don't think Brittany Griner is ever leaving the country again.
She's never leaving, but some other players are going to have to make that choice. It's just like you have to. If this is a career you want to follow, you need to play enough basketball to be good at it. And doing a different job in the offseason means you're not focusing on your craft.
Now I'm starting to wonder if there's how they all go overseas to make money and then they come back. I wonder if we had an off season, is there a country we could go to just do radio and make a bunch more money?
Argentina.
No, I can't do that.
Is there some place that appreciates
too many
radio
old Nazis
more than here? That's a good point. Because that's what it would be. It's just
there's just no equivalent of all this stuff for our job.
What about Spain?
That'd be very nice. But I don't speak the Spanish very, very well.
That's another one. Yeah.
I mean, I don't think
Yugoslavia.
No, you're just listing countries, Randy. I'm looking for places that will pay us ridiculously better than what's happening here.
Look, man, Yugoslavia would pay us all kinds of money to come over there and entertain.
I don't know Slavia. So, and then everybody
matter.
listening in their jobs, they don't have that either.
Do you?
The only place you can find that is sports.
Do you
we
think
really
that,
screwed up by not being athletes?
Do you think that Taylor Swift, when she's on a world tour and she goes to Yugoslavia, that she sings everything in Slavian?
Probably. She's really amazing.
No, she doesn't.
She doesn't, but it's okay because she has a song that repeats over and over again. We say different things every day. We can't even remember what we said last segment, much
she
less
probably
yesterday.
Slavia's all over these people.
No, I think you've got it wrong. I think Travis Kelce's the one Slaviaing on her.
I didn't know he was bilingual.
See what I'm saying? Oh, yeah.
Well, whatever the case, I don't know. I'm just sorry. I just was just thinking. It's just like, why can't we do that? Why can't we find the Yankees of radio? Why can't we find the foreign country
supply and demand?
If we were
the short answer,
if we were to be picked up by the Yankees, wouldn't that be like being on satellite radio?
We're not in very high demand.
I don't think they pay very well on satellite radio, to be honest.
Oh.
That's a
shame.
Just the rumor I've heard. Hey, congratulations to Gilgamesh Alexander. He has had a huge Gilgamesh Alexander.
You mean Shea Gilgeous Alexander? Shea is his first name.
I'm wearing the wrong. I have like a 2.0 now in the glasses. These are 1.5s. So
I see.
I was like, oh, Gilgamesh.
I thought it was I thought they were just saying he was shy.
You mean the Sumerian king who is rumored to have defeated the Bull of Heaven? I don't think that's
very
exactly
shy. Gilgamesh and his friend Alexander. That's what I thought. But now,
once fought Enkidu, the wild man of the forest. But I didn't realize that was the story we were telling here. I just what's going on?
I love the wild man of the forest. Well, whoever this person is, and if we have to open our Bibles, tell me what page. But we'll.
That predates the Bible, sir. That's an older story than that one.
Okay, so
I'm just a nerd.
Yeah.
But his name is Shea, and
Shea, not shy. So it's Shea Gilgamesh Alexander.
Gilgeous.
Shy Gilgan Alexander.
Nope.
Gilligan.
Shea.
Shy. Shay.
Gilgeous.
Gilgeous?
Gilgis.
That's a lot of letters just to say Gilgis.
Well,
A lot of consonants.
I didn't make the
Some
rules.
extra letters in there.
Then-
Oh, yeah.
And then
I think you're
Alexander.
right.
Shea Gilgis Alexander.
Yes.
The U is silent.
I am never silent. Anyway, he had 54 points, man.
Yeah.
And the Oklahoma City Thunder continue to be scary as hell.
MVP front runner right
Yeah.
there.
By time he gets MVP, I'll figure out how to say his name right.
I think
it took me a minute, but I got Antetokounmpo.
You did
I
get
think-
there, yeah.
I think he last night. I think with 54 points, I think he put an underscore of his name in the MVP race. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Here's the thing he said that really struck my earball. He said it's always fun, I guess, to get career highs. Always fun to knock things off your list. I was just like, you're very young to have a bucket list, you know. And then I think about people who have bucket lists, and I'm like,
Maybe that was just his.
Maybe it's like a list of his goals.
Like a goal for his career in the NBA.
But it made me think about like, well, you know, what if I'm not, you know, somebody had it on their bucket list to meet, like, if I were actually famous, and they're like, ooh, it's on my bucket list to meet Jeffrey O'Brien. Maybe to kick me in the nuts. I don't know. But here's the thing: if I find out, hey, there's this guy who wants to meet you, it's on his bucket list to meet you, I'd be like, no. I don't want him to get to the end of his bucket list. I want him to be alive. I feel like if you fulfill the entirety of someone's bucket list, they're like, all right, I'm good. And then they're gone.
I don't know. I don't know if that's how that works.
You think
I don't want to help complete the life cycle of a human being.
So if somebody wanted to meet Jeffrey O'Brien and you feel like that was the last thing on their bucket list, then you think that they're going to fall over and just croak.
I'd avoid that son of a bitch like they were a process server. I don't want to be the last thing on the list for sure, at least.
Oh yeah,
right?
if you're the last thing on the list, that does feel a little weird. But if their list has like 10 things on it and you're third, all right.
And then somebody said, yeah, it's my bucket list. I really want to meet Jeffrey O'Brien. I'd be like, what's wrong with this guy? Even before
you have low standards as to what to put on the list if you would like to meet me. So
even before he was terminal, there was something wrong here. But I think I would avoid it like the plague they probably dying from. You know, I'm just saying. So that made me think that. So I guess now he's got the 54 points. He can knock that thing off his list, and I don't know what else is on Shea Gilgeous Alexander's bucket list, but 54 points ain't bad.
I don't think it's his bucket list. Could just be his list of career goals. Then when you're done with the list, you get to still live. Maybe your career's done, but that's fine.
Considering where and what we're doing at this very moment, you have to assume I have still a very long list of career goals that have not yet been checked off.
Like what exactly? What's one of them?
So many.
Where do I even start?
Yeah. It's a very long list. Ringless Joe says, using only the eye test, what is the issue with the Suns? And how would Butler fix it? Well, I mean, I think they could all pass an eye test, Ringless Joe.
But yeah, a couple of the issues with the Suns is like just not entirely certain what to do with Beal. They have Beal when he's out there as a starter. He doesn't gel well with the other guys. There's a little bit of Booker and Beal stepping on each other's toes. And then when he comes off the bench, he plays pretty well, but he hates it. So that's going to be an issue. Like you're not necessarily getting the best of Bradley Beal from night to night when he's coming from the bench. So that kind of sucks. And then the other issue with the Suns is a trade that has nothing to do with Jimmy Butler whatsoever. That would be Yusuf Nurkic. They just don't really seem to have, a lot of that rim protection. You hope that Nick Richards can kind of help you with that. It does look like he can. He's off to a good start with that anyway. I think he's going to still probably be dominated by some of the bigger name centers, those guys that, Jokic and so on, like those guys that play that way. But like you just want Nurkic off the roster. But I do think that Jimmy Butler helps with the Beal thing because he doesn't play anything like him.
No, I'm just sort of thinking about the eye test thing. So do we have any googly-eyed Suns players?
Not that I'm aware of. Not that I'm aware of.
No lazy eyes?
No.
Sorry.
Maybe on the coaching staff, but I don't know everything.
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about that. Next time I watch the Suns, I'm going to look for a googly-eyed player.
What about lazy eye?
That's what I'm saying. Lazy eye, googly eye. It's all the same. Ringless Joe says, so why isn't Nurkic a Bosnian beast MVP guy like Jokic? Well, because he's a DNA will show you he's a very different person. He's another person. He's another human being.
Yeah, and Jokic, what makes him special is not just his size and his ability to rebound and dominate under the basket, which he can do, but he also has a mid-range game. He also shoots the three very well. He also has insane court vision to the point where even though he's a center, he can bring the ball up and be your point guard too. Like Jokic is a one of one. Asking why one guy whose last name sounds similar to another guy who plays completely differently is, what do you want from him?
Well, and he also comes from a family of hitmen.
I don't know that that's true.
Oh, is
have
that
you seen his brothers?
No.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
they're always
now
around.
I've seen him hit a man.
Family of hitmen.
There may be some gang activity. I never heard anything about hitmen.
Oh yeah, they're. Oh, you kidding me? Absolutely.
Just like maybe the
Randy thinks
mob.
anyone with a Russian accent is a hitman.
Okay,
well, thank you.
Scratch Me Because says 3-on-3 women's hoops should be mandatory viewing for Gitmo prisoners. Why? What is that? Because seeing women do something that they're not allowed to do in the country where the Gitmo prisoners are from? Is that where you're going here? I don't know where you're going here.
I don't understand that either.
Devil Hawk says a 3x3 is very different from 3-on-3. A 3x3 is my favorite sexual position.
Excuse me?
You got to start pre-reading some of these, man. Like, what?
Well, now I'm just trying to figure out what that is.
What does that even mean?
I don't want to Google it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. I'm not. No,
No, you definitely don't Google it. No.
Bullseye says my bucket list includes meeting Ralph and Neil from the Weekend Warriors. Is that sad? Very.
Yes.
It's very, but it's also very attainable if you go to their Super Bowl party on Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, Are they broadcasting right up to the kickoff of the?
Of the big game? No, not up to the kickoff, but up to our. We have extensive Super Bowl broadcast on
coverage.
Yeah, it's noon is when ours starts, and the game will start probably 3:30, 4. But no, we've got a day of Super Bowl Sunday programming.
Okay.
Right after Ralph and Neil.
Oh yeah.
I guess they're included in this.
Ralph and Neil is included in the Super Bowl?
Well, the Super Bowl broadcast, you
Yeah, I guess they would count as pregame.
So like 10 a.m., their show starts. And then at noon, the professionals come in. So that's how that works.
Does the place they're going to be at even open at 10 a.m.?
Well, yeah. I mean, they're doing it for this remote. It's called what is it called? This.
I already forgot.
Oh boy.
I thought they were probably the place doesn't even open and they were just going to be out in the parking lot.
No, I don't think
Why would they do that?
I mean, it'd be nice weather for it.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Ralph told me where it was and I forgot already.
I've heard the commercial many times and it just
the place, the spot, the something.
All I remember is that Phil's supposed to be the good looking one. That's all I remember from the commercial.
Once Neil starts singing, I turn crap off.
You could
probably not the best advertising choice to open with Neil singing.
Out of the three of them, you could make an argument that Phil is the best looking one. Out of the three of them,
I don't feel I needed to really consider any of that.
Well, I mean, they ask you to on the commercial, don't they?
Not me. I'm not even around. I'm scrolling trying to find the name of the place. I feel bad. I actually forgot. The historian says my bucket list includes winning the Powerball or the Mega Millions. Not every bucket list gets
completed. They don't all get finished. Yeah.
Ringless Joe, I'll get back to you on that. Slow Mo Zoe says, "Hey Randy, don't forget Daytona 500. Come home at 11 o'clock Super Bowl Sunday."
No. Daytona 500 is I think February 17th is when is it? It's still a few weeks after the Super Bowl. Yeah.
Well, Slow Mo Zoe, don't worry. He'll see it when it happens. All right, we got to take a break. And when we come back, I will know the name of the place that Ralph and Neil and the Weekend Warriors Sunday football show are going to broadcast live from on Super Bowl Sunday and other assorted things. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Sports betting apps are not created equal. Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here to talk about the Sport Trade Advantage. With higher payouts, Sport Trade is the ultimate sports betting experience. Sport Trade is the first sports betting app that gives you the option to see the odds expressed as probabilities, and it's changing in-game betting forever. If it's easier to understand 52% probability of winning versus minus 108 odds, then Sport Trade is for you. With this percent odds feature, cashing out now makes much more sense. As the win probability changes, so does the value of your bet. And if you're an experienced bettor and prefer American odds, you'll get pricing closer to minus 106 versus the normal minus 110, coupled with instant in-play betting. No more spinny wheels. So download Sport Trade today to see the difference and beat the book. Use promo code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet you place in your first week. Terms apply.
Sport Trade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
I'm Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I learned about atrial fibrillation the hard way. My symptoms would come and go: shortness of breath, fatigue. I kept going. Then I got so lightheaded, I couldn't. My doctor said I have AFib, so I'm about 5 times more likely to have a stroke. Other symptoms, irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain can come and go, but the risk of stroke stays. If you have symptoms, tell a doctor. Visit notimetowait.com.
Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Want to play a game with me and Dad? Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Download our free sports app and stay up with all the latest sports news, scores, highlights, and more. Or stream us live anywhere
at 1580thefanatic.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, Arizona's home for sports.
Today, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Oh, I found the information. I found it on the Twitter here. Here's what it is. It's the Spot Neighborhood Grill. That's where the Weekend Warriors, Ralph, Neil, and Phil, are going to do a remote broadcast on Super Bowl Sunday. And here's what it says. It says, special guests, giveaways. All right, I get the giveaways part, but who are the special guests? Yeah, I was going to ask. Is it us? I think we might be the special guests.
Nobody's asked me to be there.
Oh, well, I was asked to be there. I'm not going in person though.
You were asked to be there?
I'll make an appearance, from home. I'm not. I mean, although I don't know, it's like kind of far away from me. I'm all the way on the other side of the planet.
Oh, this is on Pima Road in Scottsdale.
Wait, no, it's 5350 West Bell Road in Glendale. Is there more than one spot neighborhood grill?
Apparently.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
North
this
Scottsdale.
is the one at 5350 West Bell Road in Glendale. So it's on the west side. That's over by you, Randy. You could go over there.
I might show.
You should go stop by.
I should do that.
If I live nearby, I'd come in person.
Mm-hmm.
But special guests.
Who else could it be?
I should stop in and see what the hell's going on.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you should say when you walk in. What the hell's going on?
I would probably say that if they if they put me on the air.
They won't put you on the air, probably not.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think they will. Since the last time, they've got a Moscow Mule drink that's very popular there.
King of Kitten says, yes, they are broadcasting from a sports bar called The Spot, not to be confused with the restaurant called The Place, which is almost directly across the street.
Oh, no kidding.
Huh.
I know the place very well.
Well, they don't go to The Place. You go to The Spot.
Oh, the place has got amazing food. Yeah.
Harvey Putzwaddler, also confused. Isn't that called The Place? Nope, it's The Spot.
Spot.
Walter Mellon's got it right. He's like, yep, it's The Spot. Fighting Wampa says, my bucket list now includes 3 by, thanks, Google. Okay, I don't want to know. Ringless Joe says, sorry, I keep coming around to that, and we're not ready to talk football yet.
Can I clear something up? There's a texter that keeps texting in saying that the Daytona 500 is on Super Bowl Sunday. It is not.
Yeah, that would be Slow Mo Zoe who said, don't forget.
Yeah. Slow Mo Zoe. The Daytona 500 is on February 16th, not Super Bowl Sunday, which Super Bowl Sunday is, what is it, February 9th? Yes, February 9th.
You are correct.
So you have another week, more than that, 2 weeks to go before the Super Bowl happens. I mean, I'm sorry, the Daytona 500 happens after the Super Bowl.
Quiet Cannon says, Fourth Dimension does not want to part with the Daily Blender. We would not approve of a trade. That's all right. Nobody wants us anyway.
That's true.
I don't think there's a trade imminent, Quiet Cannon. I think you're safe. King Kittens, thank you. And let's move on to the next thing since all the my text line is acting up.
Oh boy,
it's acting up. I also have to go to the bathroom. I may have to go to the bathroom.
So the Spot is just down the road there. It's next to Kohl's.
What are you talking about? It's
the Spot
53.
I
50
see that.
West Bell Road.
Yeah, it's just
in
down
Glendale.
The road.
It says
down the
in
road
Glendale.
From the place. It's down the road from the place. It's next to Kohl's.
Well, I thought you were talking about over here.
No. Oh, they've got tater tots.
Okay, Randy.
There you go, Jeffrey. They
Randy,
got
okay.
yin yang shrimp.
We're gonna move on now. I want to talk some more basketball type stuff.
Basketball.
Yeah. Caitlin Clark. Yeah, I guess yesterday was her birthday, 23rd birthday. Wow. And they made a nice birthday thing for her when she showed up to have a practice. And then she went out and had her practice. And in practice, as everybody's watching, somebody shot some little video. And she went out there and said, I'm going to practice my 3-point shot. So she took 54 3-point shots. She made 50 of them.
Wow.
She's went out there just shooting threes, various points on the floor. She made 50. Yeah, that is some Steph Curry stuff right there.
She doesn't miss.
Well, she missed 4 of them.
Yeah. She shot 54.
On
she
average.
only made 50.
I'm just saying.
It was impressive.
Very impressive. And
she does it in games, which is even more impressive.
For her birthday, she worked her ass off. So if you ever wonder, how do you get really good at something? That's how. You work your ass off.
Yeah, you don't take days off, man.
Mm-hmm. And so, Caitlin Clark living her best life. We saw her at the football game the other day, up in the booth with, what's her name? Taylor Swift, hanging out, enjoying the game. You know what? Why not? Taylor Swift entertains all sorts of people up there in that luxury box.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'm trying not to say Taylor Swift enjoys many different people in her box.
In her suite, if you want to avoid
Thank
it.
you. There you go. Okay.
In her suite.
In her luxury suite. And so last Sunday she had Caitlin Clark and they're just sitting there watching the game. Yay. Have a good time. I didn't care. They showed Taylor Swift. And then I was like, oh, look, there's Caitlin Clark. Oh, that's nice. It doesn't bother me, but turns out it bothers Michael Irvin.
What?
Michael Irvin went on a rant saying, oh yeah, Caitlin Clark and Taylor Swift at the Kansas City Chiefs game. They're trying to steal the America's team tag from the Cowboys.
What?
Yeah, if for whatever reason he thinks because Taylor Swift, All-American girl, hanging out with All-American Caitlin Clark in the luxury suite, and the NFL is focused, making sure you see them up there during the broadcast. Michael Irvin, in his weird head, thinks that means they're trying to steal the America's team tag from the Dallas Cowboys.
Your team hasn't been in a conference title game in 25 years. You're not exactly defending it.
Yeah.
It's just it seems to be up for grabs.
Yeah, well,
at this
those
particular moment in time.
Two good old American girls, and they're trying to make those Chiefs. They're trying to steal America's title. Michael Irvin is out of his mind.
Yeah,
he must be doing too much coke again.
Nobody cares.
I think he's just from when he did it the first time, Randy.
Maybe.
Might have had that effect.
Yeah, could be.
So, yeah. Wow. I mean, the Chiefs are getting blamed for everything and accused of everything, no matter what. I remember they did the same thing to the Patriots, and then some of it's true, some of it's not. Some of what's going on with the Chiefs, we can see is true. A lot of it is not. The part we know is true is the refs are very soft and protective of Patrick Mahomes. Outside of that, I don't know that we've seen like a lot of blatant calls just in general pro Chiefs. But here's the thing everybody is arguing about, right? They're arguing it's like, oh, they're cheating. No, they're not cheating if it's the refs doing it. They're not the ones doing it. And they're like, well, yeah, they get all these calls. And well, I mean, what are they going to do? Do you think they're going to complain with everyone else? Do you think they're going to jump in on it and say, yeah, this sucks. We're getting all these great calls and everything is perfect for us. Do you really think that the NFL is instructed referees in a way as to help the Kansas City Chiefs? I think they may have been told, be careful. We can't have Patrick Mahomes hurt, because if Patrick Mahomes gets hurt, then we won't have Chiefs in the games. So they may have just said, make sure people know not to hurt Patrick Mahomes. That I'd say is plausible.
Yeah.
Everything else I think is just boo-boo.
Agreed. Now, I do think the perception is there, and that's something that the league needs to be worried about. But as far as that, yeah, like they're going to protect the biggest quarterback the way that, like, if you go back and watch, right, Brady was protected in various ways. It works out that way, that if the guy that is the face of your league has a job where he can be injured and knocked out of a game, nobody wants to watch the Chiefs without Patrick Mahomes.
So if you're going to do that, do it for everyone.
I agree.
Because it's noticeable when you're seeing Jalen Hurts getting killed, when you see Joe Burrow getting obliterated, when you see even Josh Allen, who's this big beast of a man, taking some good old hits. Be fair. Be fair as you can, but if you're going to do that, do it for everybody. Now it's really noticeable that it's happening with the Chiefs. Now, do you guys consider it cheating on behalf of the Chiefs? I don't see it that way. I don't think they're even aware of it, other than, hey, wait a minute. Patrick Mahomes has figured it out. He's like, well, I can try to do some of these things. I might be able to, get a competitive advantage.
And is this what we want? Because we started off with, flopping when we had, guys like Ginobili in the NBA, and it's evolved to the point now where you've got a lot of guys who do that. That's part of their game, is just baiting the referees and drawing calls. And it is a deeply unfun way to watch basketball. And I can see a world where the quarterback position is played in this bizarre, let's see if we can get flags way. I don't think I want to watch that.
So there is some more stats that show how many times quarterbacks get roughing the passer calls and stuff like that, and it's basically 25% of what Patrick Mahomes gets. He gets 4 times the calls in his favor than anyone else.
Wow.
Taco Kenny says Swig and Swerve and Michael Irvin just jelly because you can't get into Taylor and Caitlin's box. Slow Mozo says, thank you for the clarification, Randy. By the way, when are we getting any rain?
Not for a while.
It's been a dry winter, my friend.
Yep. Not for a while.
All right. We are going to take a moment. We'll be back with hour number 2 of 3. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
Progressive presents a testimonial of sorts.
Hey, slow down! Oh, yeah? Well, you drive like my grandma. She's a very attentive and courteous driver who wears a seatbelt and always uses her turn signals. She's also a talented painter and has very low cholesterol. Not that that has anything to do with her drive. We just thought a more complete picture of who she is might be interesting. Anyway, have a nice day.
Safe driver? Get Snapshot from Progressive and get a personalized rate based on how you drive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Snapshot not available in California or from all agents. Surcharge possible for unsafe driving.
Joe Montana here. In my football days, I knew the importance of a strong defense. Now I'm sharing how you can help defend your health against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease. Are you 50 or older like me? The CDC now recommends vaccination against pneumococcal disease. Even if you're healthy, your age puts you at increased risk and over 6 times greater risk of hospitalization with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50. Schedule your appointment today at vaxassist.com.
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. You know, I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
Did you know that daily multivitamins boost your health on the inside and the outside? It's true. Multivitamins with folic acid boost energy levels, improve your mood, and promote overall wellness. And if you decide to have a baby, they can help prevent birth defects in a pregnancy. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of multivitamins. Visit azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2C for free vitamins.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Fountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. And your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Keon Rose in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. So it's not just the NFL guys. And Keon, I'm kind of curious about what you think. College football championship ratings fell by 12%.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I was really surprised at that. Is Is it because it was on a Monday? Is it usually on a Monday?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
And-
that's not
No,
it.
that's not it. No, it usually is on a Monday
And
It was much later in the year this year.
because of the playoff, but that shouldn't matter.
22.1 million viewers, down from 25 million from the last year.
That's a lot. I can't even begin to think of why. Maybe people thought Ohio State was just going to beat up Notre Dame early, but I mean, it does seem to be part of this trend of football having lower ratings than it did before. If you lump this in with some of the NFL numbers we've been seeing for the playoffs, it does seem to be part of this trend where
It's on track with
yeah,
this.
yeah.
This is higher, but still about 9% for the NFL, 12% for college football. Randy, you're right. Used to be on New Year's Day,
Well, okay, that does affect some things, I guess. But it's been later recently.
I think this was the latest it's ever been.
I agree with that.
Is it because we got a bunch of college and NFL at the same time?
Well, I think it's because, like Keon said, because of the new playoff format. It's pushed.
No, I know,
back the
but I'm saying
championship game.
because of that, everything is sort of intermesh. But I don't know.
It's the public inundated with football.
But
Maybe
also, if it
too
before
much?
when it was on New Year's Day, people just off. There was a lot of people who just had time off. Now, if you're putting it on the 20th, some people might not remember to watch it, or
Well,
they're coming home from work.
Yeah, East
Or-
Coast, you can easily watch it, but the West Coast makes it a whole lot harder.
Yeah.
I don't
And
know.
That means you're losing Los Angeles, for instance.
So if you take the NFL and you take the college and you're like looking at football in general and you average it all out, let's just say that football, college and NFL, football has lost 10%. I have no idea why. No idea what's different. I mean, you can take your complaints from watching the NFL. And is it the same complaints watching college football? I don't think it is.
No, not at all. And I don't think college football has necessarily put, their games behind a paywall. There's not a perception in college football, that politics are involved, for instance. Like anything that you could say about the NFL is not even existent in college football. So I don't even know. I'm shocked. I don't know what it could be. I have no theory for it. I'm interested in what anybody can do some research on and figure out what they think might be a contributing factor. Because it's one thing to gradually decline 12% over a series of years. To go from one year to the next and lose 12% is a lot. If there's a ratings dip of 4% or 5%, like that's a decent amount. But I from year to year, things can go down 4 and up 4. You're asking a lot to go down 12 and then come back up 12.
Slow-Mo Zoe says, I blame the fires. Yeah, I don't think that's enough people.
Yeah.
Lacrosse guy says, it's the power of the Donald. Yeah, he just took office, so you can't say it had anything to do with him.
The inauguration was in the morning, and it wasn't running during the game.
It's the amount of people that left the country because of Donald Trump being elected into office.
I'm pretty sure that nobody did that. They all say they're going to do that, but they say it in both directions.
There are specific types of
But
people.
they
that
never
if-
leave.
If we ended up with a head-to-head with those people, I'm out. But not any particular party. Yeah.
I don't know. Bruno Baller says maybe because they played the game on Martin Luther King Day and Inauguration Day, why the ratings weren't so good for college football game. Well, that should have made it easier if
Yeah.
people had the day off. I don't know.
And again, with Inauguration Day, the inauguration wasn't running into the night. At least not the televised part of it.
Fighting Wampa, good point. He says maybe if they put the game on network TV and off ESPN, maybe that would help. Oh, it absolutely does help anytime you have it on broadcast network TV.
I thought it was on ABC.
Oh, was
I thought
it?
It was on. I thought it was.
I thought it was only on ESPN. Might have been Fighting Wampa, and you just didn't know. Wilbur says Taylor Swift, 100% to blame. If anything, she's helped the other direction. Bunch of Bunch of young girls sitting there watching.
No, it was on ESPN and not ABC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Now the question was it on ABC last year? Because if it was on ESPN last year, you're having a 12% ratings dip from just ESPN either way.
That starts to make better sense. Walter Mellon says the older guys are passing away and the younger kiddos aren't really big about watching games. They just want to watch the highlights. You're saying 10% of the audience died this year?
Yeah, because that's a lot. That's the reason why I'm like, 12% over a series of years makes sense in explaining it that way. If you're talking about 12% in a year, then you can't blame the kids because what you're saying is 10% of your audience died.
I don't know. Kids are stupid. Random Texter says
it's not enough of them to make an impact, though.
Could the presidential election coverage had anything to do with the ratings on the college football championship? Well, you mean the inauguration coverage? And that was pretty well done by the middle of the day for the most part. So I don't know. If you love college football, it didn't matter what was going on. You were going to watch. Taco Kenny says low ratings because Jesus didn't show up. I didn't know he was scheduled. Was he the halftime entertainment or what was the point? I don't even know what the plan was there.
Yeah.
Don't even know what the plan was, Taco Kenny. Baker's Cocky Hen says, thank you, Fighting Wampa. Thank you.
What did Fighting Wampa say?
I don't know. Thinky Wheel got me, and I can't read the rest of his text. T-Licious says, Irving is as delusional as Skeletor Jones. The Goat Tropers haven't been an America's team ever in my eyes. They ain't even a Texans team. Well, I don't know if that's true. Chief Skull says, afternoon, gentlemen. Afternoon, Chief Skull. How are you? I'm just waiting for the response. It's just being polite.
Yeah.
He says, I'm here in the great armpit of Arizona, Yuma. Listen, we've had this conversation before. Globe is the armpit. Yuma's the taint. Okay? Get it right. Yeah, okay, let's move on. 888-368-1580. So Bill Belichick finally signed his contract. He did finally sign the contract.
I did see that.
If you love it, put a ring on it. But the buyout is still there.
Well, yeah, but that every college contract has that.
He can walk away before June 1st and get $10 million, but after June 1st, it turns into $1 million.
Yeah, that sounds normal.
Interesting.
Like this is just college football, man. Like that's just how those contracts work. You know, the team's trying to keep the coach kind of pinned and committed to a degree, and the coach is trying to always have his options open.
Holy crap. Is that true? Bill Belichick owns a $360 million yacht?
I didn't know the number, but I have seen pictures of the yacht.
No, I'm sorry. Shad Khan.
No.
I was going to say. Yeah, no, it's Shad Khan. My bad. I was just reading a story. What's that noise? Jeez. I'm not here very often, and I feel like there's noises.
I don't hear a noise.
I know you don't hear a noise. I heard a noise. That's why I was saying, what's the noise?
Maybe it's the voices in your head again.
Could be. Anything weird ever happen when you're here by yourself, Keon?
Not really.
Keon's pretty he's like, I don't care. Don't touch my stuff in the fridge.
Go away. I don't believe in you.
Yeah.
And that's the end of that conversation.
Well, that would be hurtful. Why would you, if you saw an actual ghost show up, you'd be like, I don't believe in you. Well, I believe in you, Keon, but okay. You know, I mean, why would you be so hurtful?
I don't believe in ghosts.
But if you actually saw an actual ghost hanging out here, it's like, hey, Keon. And then
then I'd still have to somehow make sure that what I was seeing was actually a ghost and that I wasn't hallucinating or that there wasn't, like some kind of gas leak causing me to lose my mind, or if I wasn't having a mental episode. I would still not believe in a ghost without some other outside form of verification.
What you're saying, it was just hurtful to immediately say, I don't believe in you.
I would,
like,
yeah.
But it really gets to the soul of me, Keon.
Well, that's why you should pass that soul on to some
Cuts
other
me to the quick. Ooh.
Some other state of being. Maybe shuffle off this particular mortal coil.
Ooh.
know what I mean?
Looks like I triggered him. Actually, Lefty says it's probably just scorpions up in the vents. Ooh, makes me want to tighten my collar a little bit here.
You mean the rock band?
Seems unlikely.
Here I am.
Yeah.
Like
Rocket like a hurricane.
I've seen many
or-
insects in this building. I've never seen a scorpion. So, you know,
that's because they're in the air ducts.
Well, then they're staying there clearly because I've never seen them.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Keon's pretty much dead if a ghost comes in, it sounds like. Well, your ghost can't hurt you. Ghost can't hurt you.
Yeah.
So even if he's like, he's wrong, he's like, holy crap, that was real. He's like, all right, that was cool.
Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think ghosts are real. So they're not pretty much dead at all. Either way.
And Mr. Wilbur, I think the person you're texting about there, I don't think they're dead. This might be an NHL first. Did you see this? The Edmonton Oilers scored a goal thanks to a nacho platter. The Oilers were playing at home against the Washington Capitals Tuesday night. Fan throws a bunch of nachos onto the ice. Moments later, Corey Perry slapped the puck past Capitals goalie Logan Thompson, and Thompson's like, "Yeah, I saw the nacho. I was pretty distracted. Never seen that before. You know I got to play through the whistle, but that's on me." When you see a big plate of nachos fall on the ice, now most of the nachos stayed in the plate, but some of them came out, and I'm sure that Logan Thompson's like, "Oh, I could really use. I want those. Why would you throw perfectly good nachos on the ice?" He says, "I saw the guy that threw him. It wasn't too happy, but credit to him because then he got him the goal." The referees didn't blow the whistle because the nachos didn't technically interfere with actual gameplay.
No, it didn't interfere with gameplay. It's just that the guy that had the puck had to skate right over the nachos. Of course, the stupid referee.
That guy got the actual goal, though. He scored a goal. He's not complaining about it. He says he didn't even see him.
He didn't. Well, it's because he was skating backwards over the nachos, and he barely missed them.
Ruined the nachos.
Imagine if the nachos got caught up in his skate and he went down. Boy, he would be absolutely.
You know they don't play on roller skates, right? There's a blade. They cut right through it. It spreads the cheese.
Have you seen that cheese whiz when it gets cold?
It's like a knife.
No. It's frozen now. Now it's like rocks.
Speaking of cheese. Speaking of cheese, I don't know. Do you like Velveeta? Do you use Velveeta for anything?
Sometimes.
I haven't had it since I was a kid, and the only time it should ever show up now is mixed in with dips or something. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because Velveeta is just ugh.
Yeah.
And well, now Velveeta has announced a new product called Vel to Go. Single serve packets of Velveeta cheese, and here's a picture from their website. And here you see the guy. By the way, check out that belt. But here's the guy. Slipping a single serve packet of Velveeta into his back pocket. You know,
why would he do that?
In case he needs it later.
In his back pocket?
I'm not understanding
this warm and squishy thing you sat on now. Anyway, and it's not cheese, it's a cheese product. You know that. So they came up with the idea because 1 in 4 millennials and Gen Zers bring their own condiments with them whenever possible. And there's a lack of convenient cheese condiments. Do you do this? Do you take condiments with you?
To where?
Restaurants.
No.
Do you like take ketchup, mustard, ranch dressing?
Not if the restaurant doesn't
Chick-fil-A
have
sauce?
the condiments that I like, that is part of not having the food that I like, so I don't go back.
You can purchase Vel to Go at Walmart for $5.91. You get 3 cartons, 4 packets in each one.
What?
So basically, you get a crap ton of Velveeta for $5.91.
I've never been to a restaurant and thought, this place is perfect. Except for
this food really needs some Velveeta on it.
Yeah, like that's what it's missing. The missing ingredient is Velveeta. But don't worry, I brought mine. I've just never had a thought like that. I don't know what to tell you.
They're gonna have to have like some nachos you can put in your pocket too.
Nachos to go,
right? I mean,
but by the time you pull them out, they're going to be
like
crumbs.
if I go to a place that serves nachos or something that needs cheese and it doesn't serve it with cheese, I don't go back.
I suppose you could put like the nachos in like a shirt pocket.
No, that's good. Yeah. There's a good
That
place
wouldn't
for
be
it to
bad.
not get
Yeah.
broken, like right here.
I mean, okay. That seems.
You just haven't been innovative enough to try to sneak a lot of food into a movie theater.
Oh no, I've snuck many things into movie theaters. Just,
I went on a date. Well, this is how far back this was. I snuck Olive Garden food into the Tim Burton Batman movie in the 80s. Like full on dinner. I was able to sort of just little misdirection. My date and I had gone over to have some dinner before the movie, and they were running late. So they was like, put it in the containers. We're going to sneak it into the movie. And so they helped us out. And so as we're sitting there, you could tell people are sitting there watching. Here comes Jack Nicholson's Batman. It's like, hey, this is a pretty good movie. And they're like, what the hell is that? Oh, people in the theater were kind of like, and then occasionally somebody would go out to the concession stand and come back really pissed off because they couldn't. They're like, where's the Italian food? You know, they're like, no, you got a hot dog. What
do you mean?
Yeah. And I was on a date, so I made sure that the usher, he was like, don't you dare. Yeah. So we got to sit there and eat a full-on Italian meal. Yeah. Olive Garden. I was 18. What do you want? And watch a movie. So that is next level food sneaking into a theater right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I haven't done that, but there was a movie theater when I was in Chattanooga that was right next to a McDonald's. So you wait right until the movie is about to start. You get the McDonald's, so the food's still hot. I had a jacket that had all kinds of pockets. You get McDoubles, and there's a pocket for the large fries. And you go in. I got the drink at the theater, and then I went in and watched the movie and ate my many sandwiches.
When you were getting your drink, were you worried they were going to spot?
No,
what you got going on there?
Just the way the jacket was shaped, it didn't really show anything.
You know, the people that work at the
that
theater,
jacket.
they know we're sneaking stuff in. They don't even care.
Yeah, why would they?
Moist One says, hey, if there aren't any ghosts, then explain what was in my sheets when I stayed at my uncle's house 20 years ago. No idea. It must have been a ghost.
You know what? Ask a therapist.
Yeah, no, I'm not even.
Ask a therapist.
Random
He'll tell.
texter says, well, that was a pretty cheesy goal. Dude, we don't do dad jokes here, random texter. No dad jokes. Yeah. 5-minute penalty. Quiet Cannon says, speaking of condiments, a Korean friend of mine always carried a medium-sized bottle of Tabasco bread in her church, in her purse. She never left home without it. Tabasco red is what I meant to say. Chief Skull says, would it be okay to bring your own Velveeta and ask the restaurant to melt it on your food? I'm thinking no. I'm thinking probably no.
And also they should ban you.
I don't know about that.
For asking.
Their own policies don't, I'm not judging.
I'm just asking. I think in addition to whatever policies they have, if someone brings their own Velveeta and asks you to melt it at a restaurant they went out to, instead of just staying home and melting the Velveeta and putting it on whatever it is that they had at home.
Velveeta's already kind of melted as it is.
They should just ban you.
Yeah. Hefty Lefty says, for the first 2 years that the AMC was opened at the mall by my house as a kid, they allowed you to bring in any food bought at the food court. Mongolian barbecue was enjoyable during many a film in my high school days. Well, that was cool of AMC. That was a nice thing. Just a Tip says, I use Velveeta cheese sauce occasionally. These packets will allow me to use just a little tiny bit, mostly for color, around great homemade Cajun shrimp and rice, Velveeta, and no centerpiece. But it helps calm the heat of the Ghost Reapers. Oh, he's got like pouches of Velveeta cheese sauce.
Wow.
Huh. It's not the same as what was on the thing there, but cool. Tioa says, got to sneak in tequila into the movies. As long as you got a designated driver, why not? Slim Pickens Hat says, my mom used to take rice wine vinegar for salad into restaurants. Looked like a urine sample. So she had it in a bag? Oh, you don't want to look over and see somebody doing that. Sitting there at their table.
Nasty.
You don't know what that is. All right, listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we have a couple of more sports things to talk about, and then we'll talk some NFL. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Sports bettors, we've all been there. You have a live bet lined up. You check the odds one more time, place the bet only to see the bet delayed by the spinny wheel, line move, and your bet rejected. My name's Alex Kane, and I'm the founder and CEO of SportTrade, Arizona's newest sports betting app. At the core of the SportTrade offering is our probability-based odds. In other words, the Cardinals may be offered at 55% odds to win, a lot simpler than minus 125. Place your bet at 55% odds, and as your win probability changes, so does the value of your bet, giving you the ability to cash out with total control. And the best part, no spinning wheels. Live bets on SportTrade are instantly accepted. Download SportTrade on your iPhone today and use code 1580 to earn 10% cash back on every bet in your first week. Terms apply.
SportTrade is regulated by the Arizona Department of Gaming. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash, and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes, and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
On the road again. Just
Neil. First of all, stop singing. Second of all, why are you singing?
I think he's singing about our Super Sunday pregame show coming up on the morning of the big game.
That's right. On February 9th, we're broadcasting live from the Spot Neighborhood Grill in Glendale.
We'll talk about football, of course.
We'll have special guests and great audience giveaways.
And listeners can meet the Weekend Warriors in person.
So join us live for the Weekend Warriors Super Sunday Preview Show
at the Spot Neighborhood Grill on Bell Road in Glendale.
February 9th from 9 to noon on 1580, The Fanatic.
It's Dave Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
I was reading a new Kasai Japanese Steakhouse commercial earlier, and turns out there is a disagreement on a pronunciation. So I got to reread a line. I got to reread one of the parts of it. I'm not going to do the whole commercial over. I'm just going to read the line and edit that thing in there. But it's pretty cool though, because when I get to read these spots, I get to learn about all the new stuff that's happening at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. You know, they got two locations. One's by you, Randy.
Yeah. It's not too far from the compound here.
Yeah, Peoria and the 101 and Northern. And then, of course, there's one over here in Scottsdale on Thunderbird. But anyway, here's the thing that I was reading, and turns out, you know how I am with names. Yes. But I thought I had this right, but I guess it's pronounced differently. So I'm going to reread the line. But see, when I reread the line now, you're going to learn about how cool happy hour is. So, okay, are you ready, Keon? Can I record this? Okay.
Yeah, let's do this.
So in the commercial, it's talking about how happy hour is amazing, right? With daily specials, try their new $12 bar menu items: Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. That's it. Chicken karaage. I thought it was karage, like the Japanese would say, but they say karaage. So I'm going to do it like I would do in the commercial now. Oh yeah. Keep recording. I'm not done. Sorry. I got to do it because, I don't, in the commercial, turn it on a little bit. It's on fire. So anyway, so I'm going to read that one line and then
From space.
No, that's a different thing. I got to make some new ones of those too.
Okay.
And 3 delicious flavors of chicken Courage. Did I say it right? Courage. Hold on here. Radio
No, you
Ron
said Courage.
No, I know, but Radio Ron sent me a.
It's not pronounced Cargay. It's pronounced Chicken Courage.
Chicken Courage, but I didn't say Cargay. Courage. All right. And 3 delicious flavors of chicken Courage. It sounds wrong, doesn't it? Just sounds wrong. And 3 delicious flavors of chicken Courage. That ought to do it.
All right.
I might even do the effect where it's like, and chicken Courage. I'm just trying not to have to record the whole damn thing over again. I don't think that's going to happen. I think I'm going to have to do it again. Anyway, so you remember yesterday we were talking about Hall of Famers and Major League Baseball and all that?
Yes.
And we were like, there's only one guy who was ever voted unanimous into the Hall of Fame.
Right.
Well, this is weird because he just showed up in the news the next day. Mariano Rivera, right?
Yeah.
Well, here's the headline. Mariano Rivera and his wife Clara are accused of covering up child sex abuse.
Oh.
So that's not great for a litany of reasons.
So I guess they own a church, and they completely fund this church, and they had a summer camp, and it turns out, according to the complaint, this girl was being molested by an older girl, and when they told Mariano and his wife Clara, they both at different times individually tried to tell him, just keep that to yourself. And then in that same church, another person in the church also molested the girl. So this is not great. So, here's the thing. Will you make this statement? It shouldn't matter what a person's done. They should be allowed in the Hall of Fame based on what they did on the field, not what they did. I don't agree. I think if you murdered somebody, molested somebody, did things wrong, cheated, there's a line. There has to be a line. You know what I'm saying? And if these are allegations, they haven't been proven true, but if they turn out to be true, I feel like this person shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame anymore.
Don't you think? I understand what you're saying, but it is the Baseball Hall of Fame, not the Moral Compass Hall of Fame.
Yeah, it's not about a moral. See, this is. You hurt a child like this, you should be put to death.
I understand I understand exactly what you're saying.
There should be some moral compass to the people we put up on a pedestal and say, look, they're in the Hall of Fame. Once you do certain things, I think we should erase you from history and move on.
I get you. I get you 110%. But people will say it's not a moral, morality Hall of Fame. It's a Baseball Hall of Fame.
Well, you know what? I'll never go. I'll never step foot in the Hall of Fame. If they're going to not have better standards, then I'll just never go.
Well, this is the first thing I've ever heard about Mariano Rivera.
Not just this; it's just other things too. The molesters, the murderers, the cheaters, the this, the that, and everybody's like, oh, everybody wants to make excuses and cover for and say, oh, it's nothing to do with what they did on the field. It's like, yeah.
And I don't even know if people want to say that they're covering for, but it's just sort of like you pretending that person didn't exist is not the thing to do, as opposed to say Mariano Rivera in the Hall of Fame, but also he covered up child molestation and having his name there, but also the attached part. Because pretending alleged. But like if he did it, having that having him erased actually, I think, kind of does a little bit of a disservice, because what we should remember about him should be more than the baseball. It should be he was a baseball player, but also he did this awful thing, and he should be remembered for that too.
Yeah, and by the way, covering up and trying to hush up somebody being abused is just as bad as the abuse, if you ask me.
I would argue that it's worse, because I think that you create the environment where multiple abusers can get away with things, as clearly demonstrated in this story by the fact that she was abused by one person and then another person also did. I think it's worse.
Well, I'm done with Hall of Fames. I just don't care. It's just so disheartening, and it feels like you've known me on air. Well, like, hey, here's this new player. Hey, ain't they cool? Like, are we sure? Are they a good? I don't want to be hurt again.
Yeah, well, you never know, because that's how people are. Like there are people who will always, do the right thing and be upstanding people, and then there are people who don't do that, and that's just society. Like you live with lots of people like that. Just because they're not famous, doesn't mean that it's any different for them. I think for me, like, I don't want those people to be erased. I want, like, when Joe Paterno, they vacated all of his wins. He's dead. It doesn't do anything. What I want is for people to remember what Joe Paterno did. And I don't think we can remember what Joe Paterno did if we try to erase Joe Paterno.
Yeah, okay.
That's my stance on it.
I don't want to celebrate
these
people.
Yeah.
And
but if
part
you
of
remove
it
them from the Hall of Fame, we don't even talk about it.
Part of letting them be there is celebrating them as well. And I just don't want to celebrate them.
I don't know what the middle ground is on that, but
you see what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you.
Very discouraging. It's very discouraging. It is. Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, would you still go to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame? I don't know. Maybe. Listen, there's villains everywhere, right? I'm just done with Hall of Fame.
The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame might have more villains per capita than most places, just due to the nature of music, the music industry.
Tia says, sounds like an extortion scheme coming from a Yankees hater. Really doesn't read like that, my friend. It reads as a young Jane Doe who really suffered a lot at the hands of grown-ups, and a bunch of them. It doesn't read like that, but what do I know? Bullseye says, is it pronounced Kasai or not Kasai? No, it's Kasai. That's what they say, Kasai. Hefty Lefty says, so they just decided to pronounce it different for their menu? I don't know, man. Maybe it's a different version. I'm not going to question them. They make great food. I'm not arguing. Moldy Tuna Fish says, what did I just tune into? Is this some new tourist information format with these commercial reads? No, it was just me trying to get sort of do two things at the same time. Tell you about cool stuff from Kasai, and also read a line that I guess I might have messed up. Moist One says, the Hall of Fame is a joke. It is a moral compass Hall of Fame because Curt Schilling and Pete Rose are not in it. Cheese Skull says, Jeffrey, I wholeheartedly agree. If Keon wants you banned from restaurants for bringing your own cheese, then you should be banned from BHOF if it's true.
It's a Baseball Hall of Fame.
For bringing my own cheese?
Those are not related things.
I wouldn't bring my
all.
own cheese anyway.
Yeah, I'm talking. If you ask them to
Why
warm
would you
up
bring
food
cheese to them?
you brought from home, you're inconveniencing the staff there, and I think they should ban you. Which is in no way related to, if you do something awful outside of the game of baseball, maybe we shouldn't celebrate you inside of the Hall of Fame. And I agree. There's an inconsistent standard there that's being held. Either this is not a moral thing, because if it's not a moral thing, then Pete Rose should be in it, and Curt Schilling, who has, again, opinions I don't like, that even that doesn't rise to the level of this.
No, not at all. Not at all. Swave Dave says, I've been promising my wife to take her to Kasai Steakhouse, but I don't know what I might lean towards. What are your favorite dishes? You just go to the Teppan thing. So what you do is your first experience there is you get the Teppan deal where you sit there and the guy chops up stuff and cuts it for you. And you have a choice of like steak or chicken or shrimp or salmon. You choose what you want the meat to be, and the rest of it is pretty well just put together for you. The soup is amazing. The fried rice is the best I've had in town. of any place. And it's a show they put on there, and then you tell them, how you want your meat cooked, and they do it for you right there. It's all great, Swave Dave. You can't go wrong. But yeah, I tell them you want the Teppan experience. Just the Tip says Hockey Hall of Fame is awesome. Been there a dozen times. Stunning honesty for them in there. A great city to visit. Still get a burger at Gretzky's restaurant for $10. And the underground used to be a bank where they'd store the cup. That's stunning. They do it correct in Toronto. That's cool. That's cool. I'm just feeling so jaded that I don't see myself going into any Hall of Fame. Just because I'm like,
I mean,
man,
to me, you can't.
I'm just so disappointed.
I think that you just have to be able to the stuff that I don't like is when you get people like Deshaun Watson, like, are actively in the game. The NFL should have put the kibosh on that the moment that he showed up and wanted money. They should never have allowed him to go to any of these other teams, because playing in the NFL is not a right, it's a privilege.
All he's done is collect a check and burn the people who paid him, which I'm happy about.
Yeah,
I'm happy
while
that
having
he burned them.
various injuries that I hope hurt.
I really do,
all the time.
So I don't know. Just disappointed. Anyway, so tonight at 6:30 p.m., a team that GCU has beaten recently, the Southern Utah. Time for another beating. That's right. The Grand Canyon Lopes are visiting the Southern Utah Eagles. I don't know what they are. Whatever they are, it's a bird face. They got a bird face in their logo. All I know is it's Southern Utah. And for some reason, Southern Utah is listed as SUU. I don't know why they're
Southern Utah University.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Seems like an extra letter you don't need. But yes, they beat them pretty handily the last time. So, here's hoping GCU can just pile up a few more wins. That would be nice. But I feel like this is a pretty good place to get that win. But that broadcast starts at 6:15 here on 1580 The Fanatic. Let's take a break. We'll come back. We're getting closer and closer. No, we're here. It's time to talk football. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Terms and conditions apply.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Wow, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Make extra money daily from your sports betting? Dylan Cohen from Beat the Book here. I'm always about finding ways to take sports betting to the next level. And that's exactly why I'm pumped to tell you about Edge Boost, the financial platform that pays you cash back to wager. Edge Boost is an online bank account that pays you for every deposit. With the Edge Boost Visa debit card, you're getting up to 0.5% cash back on all of your sportsbook, daily fantasy site, and casino transactions. That's free money back in your pocket just for doing what you're already doing. It's a no-brainer. Plus, your Edge Boost debit card starts with a $250,000 daily limit, and it will never be declined for gambling activity. They've got built-in tools to help you stay responsible, and there's absolutely no hidden fees or minimum required balances. So stop leaving money on the table. Visit edgeboost.bet to learn more and sign up today. That's edgeboost.bet. Once again, edgeboost.bet.
I had the worst dream last night. You were in a car crash and the kids and I were on our own. We had to move out of the house because I couldn't afford it anymore.
It's awful, hon.
My brother was saying he got life insurance from Ethos. With Ethos, it only took 10 minutes and he got $2 million in coverage for around $2 a day. It's all online. No medical exam. He just answered a few health questions right from his house.
Ethos, here we come.
Visit getethos.com. That's getethos.com.
Sample rate is a 10-year term life policy for 35-year-old healthy, non-smoking male. Billed monthly.
Did you know that vitamins are your partners in health, not just inside, but outside too? These nutrients are key to our daily well-being. And for anyone who can get pregnant, folic acid is a must for preventing birth defects, helping you have a healthier pregnancy. The Arizona Department of Health Services is offering 3 months of free daily vitamins with folic acid. Power your health inside and out. Get your free vitamins at azdhs.gov/PowerMeA2C.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
1580 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com.
Your home for sports.
Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Kyle G says, wife had a work dinner at Kasai a couple months ago. They lost power near the end of the cooking, but our chef finished up by cell phone and candlelight. The service is always top notch. Yeah, go for the steak and the salmon, says Dave. Sways Dave. That is awesome. It's a good thing, man. Those grills are pretty hot there. So even if they lose power, I think maybe they're ran by gas too. But they always have a great personality and service. Those cooks, those chefs, the Teppan chefs are always amazing. And I mean, it's always fun. It's always fun. I've never had a bad experience at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. That is a true story. So if you get a chance, be sure and get over there. And let me tell you about the happy hour again. I feel like I could read that better. Happy hour is always on fire with daily specials, and try their new $12 bar menu. Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken and beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaj. That ought to do it.
You blew flavors.
No, I don't care. I just need the karaj part. I just need the chicken karaj.
I see. Okay.
It's probably not going to work, but all right.
No.
Sunday. The last, 2 of 3 NFL games will be on 1580 The Fanatic. Airtime for the broadcast is noon on Sunday. Washington Commandos taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. And because it's the Eagles involved, Ian Eagle has to be there because that's his last name.
Yeah, that's fair.
I see.
Makes sense.
Kurt Warner will be there, generally probably going, where's Kevin? Yeah. Usually it's Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner together. I'm still not sure what's going on here. Anyway, but Kevin Harlan is on the next game at 4:30 p.m. or so, AFC Championship game, the Buffalo Bills and the Kansas City Chiefs. And Kevin Harlan has Devin McCourty with him. So that's it. What are we going to do without football? I'm not even sure what we're going to do without football.
Who knows?
I mean, we've just gone about an hour and a half without talking football.
Yeah.
It's just going to really miss it. That's all. Just going to really miss it. When do you think they should do the MVP awards? When do you think is the right time to do the MVP awards? They're doing it. They've done it. They're already decided, basically. Everything, the voting is done, right? And so they're going to announce it on February 6th before the Super Bowl. Are we doing this right? Are we doing this right? I feel like they say you just do it at the end of the regular season. The playoffs shouldn't play into it, shouldn't help or hurt somebody. So, okay, so if the voting is done before the end of the regular season, it's all why don't do the MVP awards then?
Who's going to watch it? Like the reason why it works the week before the Super Bowl is there's no football.
Yeah.
If you put it on at any other time, I'm just telling you, just point blank, I'm not going to watch it. I'll just read what happens on the internet later. I might actually, in the name of missing football, watch it.
When's the ESPYs?
I don't know. Let's find out.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know anybody who watches it even as it is. That weekend, everybody is too busy doing all the honeydew list that has built up over the season.
Yep.
You're not watching this anyway. You're just going finding out about it when you get a notification on your phone. Oh yeah, look who's the MVP. Oh yeah, look who's coach of the year. Oh yeah, look at that.
The ESPYs are July 10th.
I'm just asking
Yeah.
because I don't watch that either.
Yeah, but like the ESPYs, who would watch?
Clearly,
the ESPYs?
you don't watch it either because you had to look it up.
Yeah, but I don't know anybody who watches the ESPYs. I think it's a weird kind of sports award show that's supposed to feel like the Oscars and Grammys, but it's using where in movies or music we're talking about the people who create the movies and music. This is like the people who are involved in the sports are the people who are celebrating. It's not quite the same thing, and it feels weird to me to do. But regardless, I don't know. I've never watched the ESPYs. I don't care about it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the award shows, like sometimes if I've got nothing else going on, just in the name of missing football, like, oh, there's a football thing on TV. Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess that explains it.
Which if you put it against actual football, I will not watch.
So here are the finalists for MVP. It comes down to, well, as you would expect, Josh Allen from the Bills, Lamar Jackson from the Ravens, and of course, Saquon Barkley from the Eagles. But the other guys on this list, Joe Burrow from the Bengals, and of course, from the Lions, Jared Goff. So seeing
list.
Joe Burrow actually get on the list is nice. I wonder if based on his stats alone, I mean, they weren't talking about him, so probably not. So who's your choice for MVP? Who do you choose, Randy?
I'm going Josh Allen.
Josh Allen from the Bills.
Yep.
Keon?
Yeah, I'm going with Lamar.
Am I going to get hate mail like the guy who didn't vote for Suzuki if I say it should be Saquon Barkley?
No, he's also got a strong case.
So we all three think different people. I really do think it's Saquon Barkley.
It's been a really good MVP type year. And
Yeah.
Saquon's got a strong case. So does Josh Allen. So does Lamar. If any of those guys win it, I won't be mad about it.
All right. Now, Burrow is a 3-time finalist, and he's also up for Comeback Player of the Year. Why is that? Was he hurt last year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
His wrist, remember?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't pay attention to the Bengals that much.
He's a great quarterback.
Yeah.
Then they're saying Sam Darnold. A comeback from what? Somebody asked me, and I says, well, he used to see ghosts. Now he doesn't. Well, now he does.
Well, yeah, but now he does again.
Yeah, now he
By-
does
by-
again.
by the end of the season,
For
he was-
regular season, he didn't. Regular season,
once
he did
again
great.
Seeing ghosts. And
Mhm.
like that's the the thing is that award is also includes players whose careers took a turn where they just weren't playing.
Mhm.
And his did that.
Well, I think there's clearly, and you're right, Moist, when DeMar Hamlin, he's played great. He's been having, he's been all over the field for the Bills.
Didn't he already win the comeback player last year?
Oh, I don't know, but he's up for it this year. I don't know if he played as well, the year before. He was back on the field, but I don't know if he was playing as well as he is this year. Flacco won it last year.
Let's see.
Flacco for
And Hamlin,
all
Hamlin
them
last year.
playoffs he won for the Colts.
Hamlin didn't start any games last year and only played 5 a
Mhm.
year ago. Very limited. Like it was like just we're happy to have you back kind of thing. So
Jake-
he did win it last year, but maybe he
Yeah.
shouldn't have because he's got a stronger case for it this year on account of he actually played. Started all 14 games that he played in.
No, Randy, DeMar Hamlin was all over the place. He's
know.
being a very effective defense player.
I wasn't saying anything. I was just saying,
Actually, he finished second last year in comeback.
I'm just a guy. I feel like if you went out and you came back, you should win comeback player of the year. And for me, that's Joe Burrow. But if you,
I don't know, man.
all
DeMar
of a
Hamlin
sudden-
had his heart stopped. He died
but he
on the
came-
field.
but he
And
came
Joe
back
Burrow
last
had
year.
a little beat up wrist.
He came back last year though.
Yeah, but it wasn't really back by then. And look, Sam Darnold had been around, but he didn't really
Nah.
come back until this year.
I don't even think he left. I just
The
think he-
comeback isn't just showing up. The comeback is like, you used to suck. No, look, you're great again. That's the comeback.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that. I don't
there,
think
there are a lot of
those
people who don't agree
guys,
with that, but
those guys shouldn't be involved in the comeback player of the year.
I tend to agree a little bit more with Jeffrey on this one. But yeah, actually, DeMar Hamlin did not win comeback player of the year last year. He was second.
Well, He
after
should've.
he was behind Joe Flacco.
He
I
should've
want
won the damn thing.
the comeback player of the year to really be somebody who's a smart ass, has a good comeback.
Well, I could see that. Yeah, sure.
I mean, there's got to be at least one guy. Your mom. Oh, yeah, that's good. That's good.
Comeback player of the year. I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Saw this thing. It was like, the comebacks of the different, like, if you insult somebody, a boomer is like, you're rude. If you insult a millennial, they're like, you're hurtful. You insult a, Gen X, your mom. That's us. That's us. All right. So back to the thing here. Coach of the year. Who's your coach of the year, Randy? I'll give you the nominees. I just want to see who's the first name that just comes to your mind.
The Minnesota coach. What's his name?
Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell.
What do you say, Keon?
I'll just be very biased and say Dan Quinn.
I can make a case for Kevin O'Connell. I can make a case for Sean Payton. The Broncos, he's turned them around pretty well, and they got a great future ahead. Andy Reid, he's just a great coach, period. But
yeah,
Dan Quinn, yeah, I got to give it to Dan Quinn too.
Yeah, I probably would too. I didn't think about that. Dan Quinn.
I don't care about assistant coach of the year. Why is that even on there?
Well, because it isn't, like those guys do matter, and you're trying to put them on a pedestal too, because like, having a good assistant coach is very important. Your organization can't function without them, right? We're talking about the Lions and whether or not they'll be able to continue being the Lions without Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson. It matters. It does matter.
Randy, who's your defensive player of the year? The defense. I'll give you the list. Linebacker for the Eagles, Zach Bond. Browns defensive end, Myles Garrett. Bengals defensive end, Trey Hendrickson. Broncos cornerback, Pat Surtain, although he's been playing great. And then Steelers linebacker, TJ Watt.
The Cleveland Brown.
Myles Garrett. Yeah?
Myles Garrett.
What do you say, Keon?
Patrick Surtain, man.
Yeah.
You don't catch the football when he's covering you.
Mm-hmm.
Flat out.
Well, I mean, I can go Myles Garrett, but I hate the Browns, so I'll go TJ Watt. That man is everywhere.
Though I feel bad for Trey Hendrickson because he, being a Bengal and on that awful, awful Bengals defense, it's not bad because he's on it. He if you took him off that defense, it would be even worse.
I'll do the offensive and defensive rookie thing in the next hour, but I just want to catch up the text line. Lacrosse guy says no Ross Tucker. Just the tip says regular season MVP, playoff MVP. Can't be this difficult to figure it out. Well, here's the thing. Regular season MVP, then, okay, you're going to get what you have now. Playoff MVP, then you just end up with whoever wins the Super Bowl, right? It just ends up being whoever wins.
Yeah, because like what if you had a great playoff run, but you didn't make it to the Super Bowl? Yeah. Are we going to say you're the MVP?
So playoff MVP doesn't really do anything.
Such a weird concept.
Hefty Lefty says ESPYs are on during the doggest day of summer, Wednesday after the Major League Baseball All-Star game. There's no other sports to watch that day.
And I still don't watch it.
Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hen says Sequin is offensive player of the year, or I'll be mad. Sequin? You mean Saquon?
Oh my God. I was like, who the hell are you talking about?
He says, no, my bet is pending. He may have had a shot at MVP if he got that rushing record, but it's a quarterback award now. Doesn't matter what we think. That's how they vote. No, you're right, man.
I agree.
Hefty Lefty says the only mark on Surtain this year is that he had 12 holding and pass interference calls on him.
Which, if you're
that's normal.
Yeah, if you're a great corner, you are going to do that a little bit. That's just all the rules are geared toward helping the offense. You're going to hold. Yeah.
Against the Spread says, as a sports gambler, you can't get hung up on football season ending. It's an opportunity to watch some college basketball games, do your homework, and then pounce on them odds in March. By the way, I do have an angle for this Sunday. Well, share it anytime you feel like. I mean, the picks will happen tomorrow, both of them. But yeah, we're always happy to get your betting advice against the spread. Always happy. I thought that we were out of time here, so I guess I could have talked about the offensive rookie and defensive rookie of the year. I think it's pretty obvious who the offensive rookie of the year is. It's Jaden Daniels.
Yeah. Jaden Daniels got to win that.
I mean, Bo Nix did great. Okay. Brian Thomas Jr. for the Jaguars did pretty good. Malik Neighbors. Yeah, he was all right.
Yeah.
Brock Bowers. Oh, that dude right there should give Jaden Daniels a run for his money. But at the end of all things, it's Jaden Daniels.
Just completely transformed an organization just by showing up.
But did we know how much he had done, at the end of the regular season? We started to realize it in the playoffs. It sort of came into actual focus.
He was big game all season, man. All season. From the beginning. Like, it was weird. He really looked like this all year.
But we didn't notice. We didn't pay attention. I don't know.
So we is doing a lot of work there.
Moldy tuna fish. Can a clone of DeMar Hamlin win comeback player of the year?
Oh, my
Knock
God.
it off. All right, guys. Hour 3 is next. The Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Want to play a game with me and Dad?
Mommy's not feeling good.
You need to vaporize that cold.
Vaporize?
Yeah, with Dayquil VapoCool. It's Dayquil plus a rush of Vicks vapors.
Whoa.
Come on, honey. Let's let mommy rest.
You guys are amazing. And so is Dayquil VapoCool.
Dayquil VapoCool, the vaporizing daytime coughing, aching, fever, power through your day medicine. And to vaporize sore throat pain, try Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
Hey, sports fans, this is Dylan Cohen.
And I'm Keon Rose, and we're bringing you Beat the Book every weekday from 2 to 3 in the afternoon.
So if you want the latest betting picks, advice, and analysis that's sharp as a knife,
or at least sharper than Dylan's last pick on the Cardinals.
Oh, you've got jokes, huh? Maybe you're feeling bold now that your Commanders actually look decent this season.
Hey, even a broken clock's right twice a day, right?
Well, tune in to Beat the Book with us, Dylan Cohen and Keon Rose, every weekday from 2 to 3 on 1580 The Fanatic.
Brought to you by Sport Trade, the newest sports book in Arizona.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting enrolls for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CARE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CARE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CARE to 200-300. That's CARE to 200-300. CARE to 200-300.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
Time for what? Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to hour number 3 of the Daily Blender, broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Studios. 1580 The Fanatic. I'm Keon Rose alongside Randy White, and I guess we're waiting for Jeffrey to return. Unless
Where
this is
did
one
he
of
go?
the maybe he went for cigarettes and he doesn't plan on coming back.
He doesn't smoke.
Damn it! I should have believed him. So we were talking about the NFL awards, and in the previous hour, and we were talking briefly about the offensive rookie of the year. Feels unanimous. I think that all of us.
It's got to be
Jaden Daniels, man. And I will say something because Jeffrey's not here to defend himself.
Okay.
The we didn't notice Jaden Daniels was this good thing. I don't understand that. If you watched a single Commanders game, he was good this whole time, which means you didn't watch any, which makes me kind of sad.
I think there was of all the times that I saw Jaden Daniels on TV, there was only like 1 or 2 games that he actually he wasn't rattled. He was still in control. But the defense somehow got to him. You see what I'm saying? It wasn't there. There was very few times where Jaden Daniels was in trouble. He always had an escape route. He always had a way to move the ball forward. How many times was it? Let's see here. How many times was Jaden Daniels sacked this year?
That's a great question because he's really good at getting the ball out of his hands quickly. He's really good at being mobile. Obviously the speed is ridiculous. He's shiftier than he got credit for coming out of college, and you could just see the confidence growing for him. So I don't think he got sacked very often. I know obviously you talk about a guy like Caleb Williams got sacked just a boatload of times. And oh look, Jeffrey's back.
I'm okay. What I miss?
We were just talking about offensive, defensive rookies of the year.
Oh yeah. I feel
Jaden
much
Daniels.
better.
Yeah.
So I thought we ended the hour on Jaden Daniels as being universally accepted as.
I was just saying it kind of hurt my feelings that you said we didn't notice he was this good.
I didn't notice
because he was this the whole time. So I was like, did you not watch any games? That hurts my feelings.
No.
All right. Well, then,
I mean, yeah, I did actually. I did, but not many.
That Bengals game where they were down and he throws the touchdown to McLaurin and he takes the shot right in the ribs and the ball just drops right in the bucket and it's a back corner pylon throw. He had like 3 other games that look exactly like that. The Bears game where they're behind and he's got to buy time and throw the Hail Mary, and a little bit of luck was involved in that one, but still he was unflappable in that moment.
In the games he got sacked this year, and I can't believe this, but I'm looking it up right now on StatMuse. He was sacked a total of 47 times. The average sack was 2.8 yards, but he was sacked 47 times in 17 games.
And he's still alive.
Well, but the point we were trying to make was, and the point that Keon made, and the point that I was trying to make was, he always seems to have an escape route. He always seems to make his way out. I mean, he can use his legs. He's mobile. He's accurate with the football. Dear God, I haven't seen a guy that accurate downfield the way he throws the ball deep. And it seems to be always right on the target, right there for his guy to get.
As a rookie, no less.
As a rookie.
Yeah, he's a freak of nature. He's unexpected, and he's absolutely great. But no, during the regular season, if the Commanders were on, they were on the small screens, and I was watching some other game. Then occasionally I'd go over, I'm like, okay, this game blows. And I'm like, what's going on over here? And then I'd see some of it and be like, oh, that's pretty good. He's doing all right. But I don't know. It just never occurred to me how good they were.
I was trying to communicate to Keon. I even when in a losing effort, I don't believe Jaden Daniels was ever, I don't think he was ever bothered by the other team. He was always cool and collected.
Mm-hmm. No, I've seen that, and There's a couple times I'm like, does that guy have a pulse? I mean, he just
oh yeah, he's the Iceman.
Just
doesn't
absolute-
care.
Absolute flatline. Including the Bears game where before that final drive, Dan Quinn was like, all right, got the rookie, time to calm him down, and he turned and Jaden was smiling. So just didn't really need help from coach there.
Hefty Lefty says, I think they should split the award with Daniels and Bauer. You got a great rookie quarterback season versus the best rookie season for a tight end ever. Both deserve it, in my opinion. I mean, you can make a case.
You really could. Like if Brock Bowers wound up winning it, I think that would be weird just because this league does tend to lean towards quarterbacks. But, he broke that ancient Ditka record, which I understand he had more games to break it in, but that record still was standing for all these years. Ditka set what was the record? I don't know, he set that record in 14 games. So I still think the Ditka one is superior, but the fact that all these other people came and played 15 game seasons, 16 game seasons, and now 17 game seasons, and Brock Bowers is just now breaking a record that stood that long, that's still impressive.
Sure. I don't know. I mean, I don't think you can go wrong either way. If it's Brock Bowers, then you're kind of scratching your head about Jaden Daniels. But if it's Jaden Daniels, you're like, yeah, but Brock Bowers, I think, no, Hefty, I think I might agree with you. How about for defensive rookie of the year? Eagles cornerback Quinion Mitchell, Rams defensive lineman Braden Fisk, Eagles cornerback Quinion Mitchell. Why is he on there twice? Dolphins,
has to be a typo.
Dolphins linebacker Chop Robinson, and Rams linebacker Jared Verse. I think Jared Verse, well, I mean, he got the most press for opening as a big yapper. He played amazing. I don't know. I don't know who's the best one out of all these guys. I haven't paid enough attention, to be honest, to defensive rookies.
I'd have to hear what Keon's got to say.
There's actually two corners for the Eagles. Cooper DeJean is the other one.
That's why.
So somehow Quinion Mitchell got printed twice on that one. I mean, obviously, Jared Verse has been really great, but Quinion Mitchell's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
He's a problem. That guy being in that division for the next 10 years. I don't know how you're supposed to be throwing the football against the Eagles, who have already got this run defense that you almost can't run the ball against. I mean, I think the Eagles have kind of leaned into the idea that maybe they don't have the best quarterback in Jalen Hurts. He can do a lot of things with his legs that make him a viable quarterback, and he does just enough. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And then you add Saquon to that, and Saquon's the real star of that offense. But as long as your defense doesn't allow anybody to score, and the Eagles just make it difficult as hell. I mean, this is something that the Eagles have a very strong case for being, one of the best defenses in football in the next 5 years, if not the best defense in football.
Well, Jared Verse, people know who he is because of his yipper yapper when the Rams were playing the Eagles. And, afterwards, he was like, you know what? He's like, I like that they stand. He says they don't shy away from things. He says, my phone was blowing up the last 2 or 3 days, and all I was seeing is, yeah, we embrace it. We love that. So I was like, all right. But I like that they stand on it. So there is a respect between Jared Verse, who's talking some smack, in Philadelphia, who gives it right back. And, okay, that's cool. I'm sure that, Jared Verse did not learn humility from that moment. Do not feel like he's going to go, next time I think I'll keep it to myself. Nope. He's going to continue to be Jared Verse, and that's all right as long as he keeps playing the way he does, right?
You have to think so, right? I mean, he's a monster.
I mean,
absolutely.
In the game, even though they lost, you have to still give him respect. He had 2 sacks, 2 quarterback hits, 3 tackles for a loss, 5 pressures, and had a 21.7% pressure rate. That's a damn good day.
Yeah, for a veteran, that's a great day. For a rookie, I mean, it's impossible how good that guy is, and he's incredibly athletic. His speed is immediate. When you see it, you understand exactly why he's such an issue. But then the guy's also smart. He also understands, when he needs to work outside versus when he needs to work inside, and he's good with his hand technique. Like, the guy's just he's another one of these rookies. He's just kind of ahead of his time, it feels like.
So let's move on and talk a little bit about coaches now. Some of the more coaching moves have been made. The Cowboys looks like they're going with Brian Schottenheimer. At least that's what everybody's saying. They're closing in on a deal, is the words. Tell me about Brian Schottenheimer. Is he the right answer for the Cowboys? Is that the guy who's going to help the Cowboys get out of their funk?
I don't know if he's the right guy for the Cowboys. I mean, he's the right guy in the terms of, like, he knows, how to run an offense. He's been around the NFL forever. So it's not like he doesn't know, what it means to be a coach, what it means to put together, a staff that can help you be successful. His offense in Dallas last year wasn't bad, given that most of the year his quarterback was Cooper Rush. I thought offense did pretty well, actually. So, like, there's that, but it does feels like here's another internal Dallas guy to be a Jerry yes man. And I hope that that's not the case for him, but like the strong Dallas ties being the big emphasis of this Dallas coaching search, whether it was Dion, who used to play there, whether it was Kellen Moore, who used to be the offensive coordinator there. Like, they just interviewed a bunch of guys who were in that building at some point. And I don't think that's the best way to go about a coaching search.
Well, Schottenheimer, at least at this moment, son of Marty Schottenheimer, looks like he's going to be it. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe they'll drag Kellen Moore back to be offensive coordinator.
Maybe, or somebody else that he wants on that staff, because he's like I said, he's been around the game of football forever. If he wants to find some hidden gem we're not aware of, he'll know who that is.
So I thought Rex Ryan was going to be on the Jets. Rex Ryan thought Rex Ryan was going to be on the Jets. Rex Ryan is not on the Jets, but now they're saying he might end up as the Dallas defensive coordinator with Brian Schottenheimer.
All right.
When Rex Ryan was the coach of the Jets, Schottenheimer was there as the offensive coordinator, and they went to back-to-back AFC championships. So now Schottenheimer shows up as the coach.
That may not necessarily mean that that's how that works.
I'm saying it works. That maybe give him a call.
If he likes his defense, if he likes him, if he thinks that defense can work now, because the game's changed from when they were coaching together. And if Rex had been in the NFL this whole time, that's an easier phone call to make. Rex has been on TV working for ESPN.
Last year, he said, when the Cowboys were looking for a new DC, he's like, I would have done it if the money was better.
I mean, I'm sure he'd be willing to. I just don't know that Brian is necessarily going to pick up the phone and call him. He hasn't coached this whole time. He's been on TV. That's just a different job. Like, you're not sticking up. You're not keeping up with the game. It's changing. I don't know. I don't know that that's a slam dunk hire just because they work together.
You wish it was.
Yeah, I do.
A little bit.
Yeah, I do.
Rex Ryan would probably be a disaster.
I would like that. Yes.
Sure.
I also would have liked them to have hired Dion, but they didn't do that.
What a shame. What a shame. So Chad Brinker shows up, the guy for the Titans, and he's like, listen, this team will not pass on a generational talent with the first pick in the NFL draft. And everybody was like, did he just tell us that, well, they're drafting Travis Hunter? They are talking about he's talking about Travis Hunter, right? Is he talking about Travis? So now the betting line goes crazy on that. All the bettors start to, but could he be talking about anyone else? Travis Hunter is the only generational talent coming out of this draft, right?
Depends on how you feel about Shedeur.
Do you feel Shedeur is generational?
I don't. But Shedeur Sanders is a guy who has been trading with Tom Brady since he was in high school, and Tom Brady talks this dude up all the time. So if you believe that, Brady thinks Shedeur is a generational talent. I don't know what that means for the Titans, but just put that out there. It's there. That is an opinion being held by some.
So the Titans, do you think they would go with Travis Hunter over a quarterback right now?
I think that would be kind of crazy. They need a quarterback. They should probably trade back if they think the quarterback can fall.
Yeah.
But also I think if you like the quarterback at 1, just take him at 1. Like, why risk not getting your guy? But I find it difficult to believe that you're going to draft a wide receiver with no one to throw him the ball.
So as I look at this, it sounds like Chad Brinkert is signaling that the Titans are open for business. Because when you say, hey, we're going to go with the generational talent, they're going to go with Travis Hunter. Other people might be looking to trade up for Travis Hunter.
And the Titans are open for business. They basically flat out said they're open to listening to what other people have to say about that number 1 overall pick. They're very open to it.
Yeah, and now they've laid down the threat. And if you don't, we're going to take Travis Hunter.
It's and look,
not really.
The Titans need so much help that if you can get teams, especially the Raiders, who are partially owned by Tom Brady, who is in charge of a lot of the things that they're doing, and likes Shedeur Sanders a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a relationship there. There's a connection there already. If Shedeur and Brady, if Brady wants him, moving up from 6 to 1 would get you a lot of first-round picks if you're Tennessee.
Kyle G makes a good point. Kyle G makes an excellent point. He says, does Tennessee know what a generational talent is?
Well,
I mean, maybe the GM said that hoping the media people would name drop who he should pick.
No, I don't think so. I mean, the GM that has been building their team for the last, 4 seasons, they just fired him.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a different guy. I judge the new guy on his own merits. I don't look at the whole organization and go, you've always done this, so you're going to always do this. No, new guy comes in. What does the new guy do? And I don't know what Borgonzi wants to do, but we'll see.
Who would you rather have, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders?
I'd rather have Shedeur.
Why?
Cam's got the bigger arm, but I think a quarterback who understands what he's looking at, and Shedeur does. I'd rather have that, being able to process what a defense is showing you, being able to move around and navigate the pocket, and then if nothing's there, knowing when to run and when not to. I mean, like, those are the things I think make quarterbacking, such a skill. And Cam Ward has probably the better physical tools, but I think Shedeur is the better quarterback mentally.
Before we go to break, I want to mention, you remember that Chris Boyd, right? He for the Texans, and there was an issue. He messed up, on the field. He took off his helmet, cost the team 15 yards, and he comes off the field and he shoves his special teams coach. Harry saw that and we're like, whoa, what the hell, dude? And so now he's come out and talked about it. He says, I was just too excited. I did something I shouldn't have done. I should have kept my helmet on. And then, when I got off the field, listen, he said, that's, I shouldn't have done that. He said, but that's not in my character. I love everybody here. I love my coaches. I never disrespect anybody. I love Frank. I'm a God-fearing man. I respect everybody. It was a little 10-second thing that happened. It's football. I never disrespect anybody. That's not my character. That's totally your character. You did a thing. And to say, I never disrespect anyone, you just did. I never do this. You just did. He said it was a 10-second thing. That's you, pal. That is you. That is your character. And maybe you don't do it all the time, but own it. Don't sit there and say, well, this is just not who I am. I hate that that's the new thing you hear everybody say. It used to be, I'm going to rehab. Oh, everybody's going to rehab. Now they're saying, oh, that is just not who I am. Yeah, it is. You did the thing, and that's who you are. At least at that moment, that's who you were. Yeah. Maybe you don't want to ever be that again. Don't be that. But right now, at this moment, with that, that's exactly who you are.
Yeah, to me, it's like I kind of take the stance of you are the things you consistently do,
Mm.
but also if you blow up at somebody that easily, it's hard for me not to believe that you don't consistently do that.
Right.
You know, like if someone treats a service worker badly, they might not always do that. But if it's really easy for you to do, just tear into some poor waiter,
it's like when certain words fly out of your mouth.
Yeah.
It seems like you're awful comfortable with them words. Don't really believe you when you say you've never said it before.
It's possible. I won't rule it out, but I find it hard to believe.
So for Chris Boyd, going forward, prove it. If it's not your character, prove it. We should never, ever see that again. But at that moment, it's 1,000,000% your character. Don't tell us it's not you. It's you. It's totally you. All right, we got to take a break. We come back. More texts on the text line. More football to talk about. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Brought to you by GBank. Earn cashback rewards on every eligible gaming transaction. vsin.com/GBank. Subject to credit approval. Terms and conditions apply.
The NFL playoffs continuing this weekend, the AFC and the NFC championship games, with the winners advancing to New Orleans for Super Bowl 59. The Philadelphia Eagles, who will host the Washington Commanders on Sunday in the NFC title game, are the betting favorites to win the Super Bowl at plus 175, while Washington, led by rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels, are plus 700. This is the third meeting between the two teams this season, with each team winning at home. The Kansas City Chiefs will host the Buffalo Bills at Arrowhead Stadium, where the Chiefs are unbeaten this year. Both the Bills and the Chiefs are plus 225 to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City trying to become the first team in NFL history to win 3 straight Vince Lombardi trophies. I'm Tony Desiri with your VSiN Action Update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted a walk-up with central air and a skylight, and you found it. Now, every Friday night, you get to fall asleep to the sound of your downstairs neighbors' dance parties. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Let's say you've got questions. You're looking into solar, but you don't know where to start. Well, Harman Solar has the answers. Hi, I'm Jeffrey O'Brien, and listen, there's a couple of ways you can go here. One, visit harmansolar.com, browse around, because right across the page, they got links to all sorts of great information, like frequently asked questions, equipment, tax credits, even testimonials. Or just give them a call. 800-281-3189. Ask them directly. They'd love to hear from you. That's 800-281-3189. Or just go to harmansolar.com.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Head coach Bobby Hurley and Sun Devil men's basketball are ready to join the Big 12 Conference. This season, the Sun Devils host conference foes Baylor, Iowa State, Arizona, TCU, and Houston, all at Desert Financial Arena.
And another steal ahead to Miller, and Miller reverses it up and in, and he's fouled. Holy moly.
Join the action and get your Sun Devil men's basketball tickets today by calling 480-727-0000 or go online to sundeviltickets.com.
The Rich Eisen Show.
Rookie quarterback who dropped his Huggies a long time ago in Jaden Daniels. He is the 100% leader in the Why Not Us clubhouse. They are the first team since 1991 to win a playoff game in which they had at least 5 or more fourth down attempts because they believe in this kid and the personification of Jaden Daniels' coolness.
Weekdays at 10 a.m. on 1580. The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. 2 things to remember. 1, Fish Tanks Band, Light Sleeper, is doing a show at the Yucca Tap Room this Friday. You got to be 21 years or older to go in there, and no cover charge. So, have a drink, have some fun. And he was saying that 9 p.m. is the earliest they'll hit the stage. They're opening for a band called Spark of Life.
Wow.
So go check them out. The other thing to remember is that we've got both of your NFL games this week here on 1580 The Fanatic. The NFC Championship game broadcast starts at noon. Washington Commanders, and they're playing a team called the Philadelphia Eagles. And so should be good. Should be good. How are you going to even pick this game, or you want to abstain?
I'll pick the game.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is it hard?
It's difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, AFC Championship game, they'll start right after Buffalo Bills and Kansas City Chiefs. All of it here on 1580 The Fanatic. Against the Spread says, I have a question for you guys. Well, usually he's giving us advice.
All right.
Normally he's not asking us things.
Yeah, this is new.
Right.
I don't know that there's any advice that we can give you that will make you money.
Yeah, hopefully it's not betting advice, because
no, I don't think it is.
Best case scenario, Against the Spread has a pick, and I agree already.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you've just been flat out more correct than me. So
yeah. We learned a long time ago not to question his betting prowess.
No, you're the dude, man.
And I got thinky wheel right when so I can't see his text. And now I hit refresh and I can't see anybody's texts. Well, that's great. That's fantastic. Well, as that figures its life out, the NFL, man, I'm not sure I'd want to work for them. So you know how Joe Mixon, he got in trouble, and the NFL says, well, you can't be saying that. So here's a $25,000 fine, and don't you ever say that again. And he's like, wait a minute, that's not what I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. Here's what he got fined for. He says, why play the game if every 50-50 call goes with the Chiefs? These officials are trash and biased. That is what they're like, $25,000 fine. And then it turns out it wasn't him that said it. It was TJ Houshmandzadeh.
Who's not an active player.
Not even playing.
Yeah.
Not. Used to be on the Bengals. And
played defense. Like
right.
It couldn't be more wrong. They're wrong on every level of this.
So then the NFL was like, oh, crap. Well, what did Mixon say? Oh, here's what he said. Everybody know how it is playing up here. You can never leave it, into the ref's hands. The whole world see, man. That seems kind of ambiguous to me.
Yeah, it's not exactly specific.
And they're like, $25,000 fine.
Because that's the thing that people say anyway.
They reissued the fine to that instead. And he's like, yeah, we're definitely appealing this.
Yes, he should.
I don't think you should be fined for saying everybody know how it is playing up here. Okay, it has nothing to do with anything. You can never leave it into the ref's hands. Well, yeah, you don't. You don't leave it into the ref's hands. You play the game, you win or you lose on your own merit. You don't worry about the refs. The whole world see, man. You didn't say what the whole world see. I mean,
so
seems a bit ambiguous to me.
Yeah, I mean, you can read that as a criticism of the refs. If you stand on one leg and turn your head sideways and squint your left eye, you might be able to see it, but they're reaching really hard here. Yeah, we know we get what he's getting at, but he didn't do it in the way that's firstly in a way that warrants a $25,000 fine.
The NFL should just go, oops, our bad. Sorry about that.
Just let it go.
Yep. But no, they're going. They're like, still here. Okay, man.
Wow.
He's going to win the appeal for sure. Here we go. Against the spread. Here's the question. He says, I hate betting against Kansas City. In fact, I prefer to bet on them, but I believe Buffalo is the team to beat Kansas City. Can Buffalo beat Kansas City, Andy Reid, and the refs? I have never done research on refs and how crews operate. Before I gamble on this game, though, I do feel it's necessary to research the officiating crew. I've always brushed off the theories about the refs helping Kansas City, but the evidence that this is happening is overwhelming. And similar to Brady in New England. How is it possible to cap a game when you have to worry about the refs? Well, I feel like if you have to worry about the refs, don't. You know, I mean, that's the stray factor that how can you possibly do anything when, you know,
that's true.
You can't trust the refs. Now, the guy who's doing it, the guy called Reno 911, he seems like a pretty good ref. I don't remember seeing him do anything too bad. But then people say, no, he's one of the biggest Kansas City Chiefs kiss asses.
No.
So I don't know if that's true, but that's what people are saying.
Yeah, I don't know officiating crews to that level either. So I couldn't tell you.
I know when I see certain faces, things are going to go bad.
But it depends on like to what level the referees are involved in the game. Is it just a bang bang play here or there, or is it them getting majority of the calls?
If you see Carl, there's going to be a lot of calls. If you see, I call him big shirt little man. If you see that guy, then he's going to be up the butts of everybody, you know. But as far as leaning towards one team or another, I'm not sure about that with Reno 911.
And it's not as clear cut as in the NBA where there are just some refs who just specifically have rivalries with players, which is a wild thing that even exists. But there are some, at least you know who that is. You know, Jeff Foster is not well liked by Chris Paul or James Harden. Trae Young is not a big Tony Brothers fan. Like you know, I think in the NFL it's a little harder to figure who's kind of what the relationships are as far as officiating and the teams.
Yeah, I mean, there's, and then how do you even quantify the non-calls?
Yeah, it's impossible, I think.
Walter Mellon says, I would say that Tennessee does the thinky wheel. God damn it.
Tennessee does the thinky wheel?
No, it just says Tennessee does the, and then I just have a thinky wheel.
I've been doing the thinky wheel since they fired Vrabel.
Tennessee does the thinky wheel.
Don't overthink it, Randy.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything, Randy. Doesn't mean anything.
Is that code, Jeffrey? Are we speaking code again?
No, we're not speaking code, Randy. The computer is locked up on me again. It's not the computer either. It's a stupid website that we use for our texting thing.
Sounds like it's a time to change again.
Oh God, no. It does this every now and then then it goes back to normal. I'm not ready to.
That's it. I'll call them tomorrow and fire this text organization and find another one.
I'm glad you're too drunk to remember. So, can you imagine, there's things that we all have done and the wife didn't agree with it. And, and then we end up hearing about it. We've all been there.
Okay.
And that's even if you've had a girlfriend,
Okay.
there's something. That dude from Saturday Night Live who's married to Scarlett Johansson, he's got a problem right now. He's got a problem. First off, he did the dumb thing that too many people do, and they're like making decisions when they're drunk with a friend. Because Colin Jost and Pete Davidson, they bought the Staten Island Ferry. They bought that. We talked about this before. They bought the Staten Island Ferry with the hopes of like, hey, we could turn this into a bar. and it's it's still kind of sitting there. And they spent a couple $100,000 on it, and then they're like, this is gonna be a lot of work. And so it was a great idea, and then they sobered up, and the thing is just sitting there. He's like, yeah, we bought a ferry, the windowless van of the sea, and we're boat people. Yeah. And the idea was to make it a restaurant, make it a bar, make it a venue. And it's just, as far as Scarlett Johansson, it's just like that beat up car that's on the end of the driveway that never gets worked on. So they went on the Today Show to argue about it. And Scarlett Johansson says she wants to sell it for scrap. She wants
it for scrap.
She just have it hauled away.
So she's the smart one in this relationship.
Okay.
And then they're like, well, maybe you just untie the knots, let it sort of float away. Oh, it's not my problem anymore.
The ghost ship of Manhattan.
Sure. Just set it adrift, and then you wake up the next day. It's gone. Oh, we're good. So she basically is telling him, you need to sell this thing for scrap metal.
She's not wrong.
But he's like, no. He's like, listen. He's like, trust me. This is going to go great. He says, I hope you got a good thick pair of gloves at home, because one day you're going to be getting so many paper cuts from all the checks that start rolling in from this ferry. It's going to put food on our table. Finally, I believe in this ferry. If anyone out there believes, he's like, they're trying to start a GoFundMe.
I hope she finds him very attractive, because there's nothing going on upstairs, man. There's just two marbles clinking around.
Went to Harvard.
Two marbles clinking around. Listen,
no, this isn't Pete Davidson. This is Colin Jost.
I know. I don't have to go to Harvard to know one of the worst businesses you can start on a whim is a restaurant, and one of the worst things that you can buy is a boat. He combined both of those things.
Yeah.
They don't teach you that at Harvard. This is a nonsense. This is an idiotic thing that this man did.
Well, you didn't do it alone.
You'll make more money just selling the thing for scrap than you will trying to make it a restaurant. In fact, you'll lose money trying to both make it a viable boat and a viable restaurant.
He believes.
There's two marbles clinking around upstairs. That's all I'm saying.
Two marbles.
He says, no. He says, we got the plans built. He says, we had them do one of them computer generated, show you what it looks like kind of thing when it's done. And,
this is the book Smart No Common Sense that we were talking about yesterday.
It's like, yeah, they told me it'd be 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
To convert this thing?
Yeah, or just 5 years away.
5 years away from being 5 years away. Yeah. I'm sure it's going to work out. Said everyone ever who started a restaurant or bought a boat, and you did them both at the same time with the same boat.
Well, I, for one, hope that Colin Jost and Pete Davidson, if he lives long enough, prove everyone wrong.
He might not make it.
It's always
he lives life very freely, and he looks insanely unhealthy.
Yeah, he wouldn't loan him money. So I hope they do it. I hope that he makes it happen. We men, we have dreams, right?
That's not a bad dream, dude.
But what if he succeeds? That's like the Monty Python thing where the guy is standing there and you hear, bah, bah. And this guy's like, oh my God, what's going on there? He's like, they did it in voices. I'm not going to do that. He says, yeah, the sheep there are trying to learn to fly. And this one sheep, he's the ringleader. He's convinced them that they can fly. So they're all jumping off they climbing a tree thing, and they're jumping and they're trying to fly. And he's like, my God, why don't you go out there and stop them? He says, imagine the amazing commercial possibilities if they succeed.
Wow.
I'm pulling for these guys. I hope they make this into a success.
They are one of many, many sheep.
Imagine the commercial possibilities. Kiss the Cook says, oh crap, stupid thinky will. You know what? I might have to just only read 4 or 5 words of these things. Against the Spread says, thanks for your take on the question, gentlemen. I'll have a pick for both games for the masses tomorrow. It's conference championship weekend. And by the way, I grew up working on boats. BOAT stands for bring out another 1,000. Everything costs. Yeah, you're not wrong.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, man. It's not a car,
but they're rich and famous.
The car at the end of the driveway that doesn't get worked on is at least not actively costing you money.
They're rich and famous. They can make this happen. Don't give up, because then Scarlett Johansson will own this over you, and then all women will own the rest of us the same. We need this win for men.
You looked at Pete Davidson and said, yes, I'll start a business with that, man. I already think you're way behind. I don't listen. If you're going to root for all men, I'm saying pick a different man. That's not Colin is making bad decisions left and right. I think that's not the guy to root for. Root for a different dude.
Tax write-off? I don't know. All right. Let's take a break. We come back. We've got on this date in Big George's sports history. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win, breakaway, pick six, three-point shot, underdog win, buzzer beater, shootout, walk-off, and absolutely every play in between is amazing. From football to basketball and hockey to baseball, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks vapors in an easy-to-apply stick. And it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And when you need more comfort for yourself, try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks vapors. Use as directed. Vapo Stick for use ages 4 and up. Vapo Shower Max used for adults only.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Are you a victim of the timeshare trap and think there's no way out? I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, the original timeshare cancellation expert. And I'm here to tell you that there is a way out. All you need to do is give my office a call. I will send you a timeshare exit information kit absolutely free, explaining how the timeshare industry works and your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free info kit. 800-791-1313. That's 800-791-1313.
Paid for by Wesley Financial Group.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Multivitamins are your partners in health. Their nutrients are key to your daily well-being, especially if you're planning to become pregnant. A multivitamin rich in folic acid can help you have a healthier pregnancy and prevent birth defects. That's why the Arizona Department of Health Services is offering a free 3-month supply of daily vitamins with folic acid. To get your free vitamins, go to azdhs.gov/PowerMe-A2Z.
Sponsored by the Arizona Department of Health Services.
Never again will you have to say, I missed that segment. I'm such a dinkus.
He's so lame.
Never miss an important segment, favorite host, or show again. Check out our podcast and listen whenever and wherever you want.
It's the reason Al Gore invented the internet.
Follow us on Facebook or Twitter or at 1580thefanatic.com.
Today, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. Hey, Randy.
Hey, Jeffrey.
You want to feel good about yourself?
Always.
Hey, how about this? There's a way I can tell you that you are above average.
Okay.
How many arms you have?
2.
You want to count them? Make sure.
I don't need to count them. There's
Right.
I have one. I have two. I have
Right
two
there.
arms. Yeah.
If you have 2 arms, you have an above average number of arms.
All right.
That's good news. I'm just trying to say, look at you.
Well, I mean,
You're
feel
above average.
Yeah, there you go.
The
2
reason
arms.
is almost no one has more than 2 arms, but some people have 0 arms or no arms. That means the average number of arms worldwide is just slightly less than 2. So if you have 2, you're above average.
Wow. Look at that.
Yeah. It's just a little ego boost for anyone who needs it.
Well, I definitely need it. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure there's probably somebody listening with only 1 arm. It's like, son of a bitch.
Yeah. And now you've basically said they're well below average.
No, they're average.
No, he's right.
Because the average is slightly less than 2.
Pretty average. Just I don't know.
So you're still many decimal points below average.
I see what you're saying, Keon.
Yeah.
I feel like a 1-armed person is less likely to change the station. So I'm not going to worry about it.
Depends on which arm's closest to the dial.
With that 1 arm, right?
Well, that's good. That's a good point.
Yep.
Then there's that girl who could like paint stuff with her toes.
That's true.
Yeah.
Very easily change the dial with her toes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's just I'm just trying to help. I think I've just done more damage now.
But potentially, but not to most.
Yeah. On average, I've made everyone happy. Fantastic. So the Lions losing Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn, you have to think that they have a backup plan. They have to think they knew this was coming, or else they started to get the idea this was coming, because once the pundits start talking about, oh my God, these guys are great, then, well, you know what's next. And Brad Holmes, the general manager of the Lions, he's like, oh yeah, we knew this. We were prepared. We're prepared for this. He says, it's hard to keep the good ones when the other teams want to poach guys from your program. You got to be prepared for it.
Yeah. My phone still hasn't rung.
How are they prepared for this?
Still waiting.
Because have you heard any news about the new defensive or offensive coordinator for the Lions? I haven't.
No, and it's probably an in-house thing.
Well, if it was prepared for, why aren't they already announcing it? See what I'm saying?
Yeah, but maybe, I don't know. Like, I don't know what part of that, what all goes into that process of just making sure, like, hey, maybe we had multiple people who we thought were viable for this, and we're just going to do one last check and make sure we've got the right person before we put them out there. But this happens to a lot of teams. If you're a good, well-run organization, you're the Chiefs, you're able to find, oh, Matt Nagy's gone. Well, we go to Eric Bieniemy. Bieniemy's gone. Hey, look, who was already fired in time to come back? Nagy's back. You got him again. But like you have people in your organization that you're willing to move forward because you trust that they can get the job done either in a similar way to the person who was there before, but maybe the next person's nothing like Ben Johnson and they don't do all the trick plays, but they've got a very efficient offense and it runs a little bit differently. But whatever the case is, you're prepared because you have people in-house that you're usually willing to promote.
I just I would hate that so much. Just when we started getting something good going and then people take off. Part of me though is like, hey, good for you. I'm pulling for you. You want people to succeed and do well, but you're also like, maybe stay around for a while here. Let's finish something here.
The thing is, especially when they hire guys to wait to be head coaches, head coaching jobs don't come open very often, and you could be the hot coaching candidate this year, and 2 years from now, it could not be you. And then suddenly, your opportunity to do this thing that you've always wanted to do, which is be a head coach in your own right, you now no longer have the opportunity to do. Ben Johnson passed it up last year. I don't know that he gets the opportunity to pass it up very, very much more times.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, listen, I don't want to ever slow someone down. Remember, the reason you're here. The reason you're here is that we hired Kaler. We hired Kaler, and Kaler shows up, and he was very boring, to be honest. But he was a good guy. He was a super nice guy. And he knew sports, and we would talk. I mean, he was a little bit of a, okay. But we loved him. We thought he was great. And then like a month later, he comes to me and says, I feel horrible. He's like, I just got I got my dream job. He's like, I love doing this, but I can't pass up my dream job. And remember I said it was boring? It was running a homeowners association.
Was it really?
That was his dream. Anyway,
I thought you were joking.
No, when I told you that was the truth. And so it's like, I don't ever begrudge anybody chasing their dreams. And if Ben Johnson wants to leave the team and go be a coach, God bless you. I hate this. And that's why I was like Quitter Kaler. We call him Quitter because he quit. He's a quitter.
Yeah, he did.
To run a homeowners association.
I told you he was a little boring. Anyway, so I know sometimes it's nice to keep a winning team together. Bob Kraft from the Patriots, he dropped a bag of money on McDaniel's desk so he would go back in his word with the Colts. I mean, I guess you do what you got to do.
Yeah, and a lot of teams do that too. Like, okay, before you take this next job, how about a raise? And if that works, that works. But at some point, the money can't get high enough for someone to just say, I want to go out on my own and coach my own team.
Yeah. Kaler was the COVID. He was the COVID guy. I never met him in person until like 3 or 4 years later.
Yep.
Wow.
When at that last, our last draft.
To run an HOA.
Exactly. Yeah.
An HOA. I mean, wow.
Hey, man, everybody has different dreams.
I understand that, but
follow your dreams.
It's a boring job, and most people don't like you. It's just
he don't. No,
please do. I'm not trying to put a
that right there is a man who's strong inside. He can take it. That is a strong man. I'm just saying, follow your dreams.
Always follow your dreams, but that is an impressive dream.
Yeah, don't judge.
It's an impressive dream. That's all I'll say.
Don't judge. Let's take care of this. It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1929, Jacob Ruppert, co-owner of the New York Yankees, announced that in the coming season, the team would wear numbers on their backs of their uniforms corresponding with the position in the batting order to help fans identify players. Babe Ruth got number 3. Lou Gehrig got number 4, and Lou Gehrig's disease. Soon after, all teams had numbers on their uniforms, and Lou Gehrig died. Back to me, Jeffrey.
Wow.
Well,
what?
Got Lou Gehrig disease,
which is a huge coincidence that he got a disease that was the same name as him.
Well,
but by the way, I thought this was interesting. Not a single NBA player has ever had the jersey number 69.
Excuse me?
You know why. But nobody has ever had the number 69 in the NBA.
That's crazy. You think someone would think that was funny enough?
I think they probably prohibit it. That's what I'm guessing. It's prohibited. Is there anybody in football that's had it?
Many times. Lots of people.
I don't remember.
So many offensive linemen. So many of them.
I don't remember seeing anybody with that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of a, no-brainer on that. Just the Tip says, how about left? What?
Oh, it's banned.
It's banned in the NFL.
Well, the NBA is in the NBA. The NBA has never confirmed this, but the rumor is that Dennis Rodman reportedly requested the number 69. He's who I had in mind. I'm
sure he'd be the first one.
Yeah. And when he joined the Mavericks, and he was denied and told instead to wear the number 70.
Find out if 69 is available for the NFL. I feel like
it absolutely is. I have definitely seen it.
I don't know any player. I probably would have noticed that. Moist one says, oh, damn it. Salah is probably going back to the 49ers. I don't think anybody got poached off the 49ers, did they? I don't think that's even a risk right now. I like Salah was all right. I don't know why people want to give him a hard time.
Let's see. Jared Allen wore the number 69. David Bakhtiari when he played for the Packers. Keith Sims, Bronson. Well, Bronson already played baseball, but this list has too many other things. John Runyon when he with the Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I just didn't notice.
Mark Schlereth.
All right.
Yeah.
Stink wore it.
Stink wore it.
I am numb. Well, you'd hope not.
But he did.
Yeah. You'd hope. I don't know. All right. Well,
Number of baseball players as well.
so a baseball player can have it. A football player, I imagine hockey dude just really doesn't care.
Yeah, Mel Angelstad had 69 with the Capitals back in the day.
So then why is NBA banning it? Why are they
I
against it?
don't know. And the thing is, now you've put a light on it. If you ever allow anyone to wear it from now on, now it definitely is the joke that you were trying to avoid that nobody cares about in any other sport.
Yeah, it's too late. You're stuck there.
Yeah.
You're stuck never using that. So I have a tale of two different ways of doing things.
Okay.
Patrick Ricard, he says, yeah, Lamar Jackson, he's going to win a Super Bowl someday. You know what? I want to be a part of it. That's like a Highlights magazine, you know, Goofus and Gallant. That's Gallant. He's positive. He's like, yeah, I want to be here because I want to be a part of what's going on. And then they're like, hey, what do you think? Cornerback Marlon Humphrey. He says, this team is done. We'll see where the offseason goes. We're done.
That is the most depressed man.
When I look at it, some guys will be here, some guys won't. I don't know. Who knows? He says, I got no more years guaranteed on this contract. So whatever message you want. You could be on this team. You could be on another team. Some guys will be here. Some guys will leave. I don't know. Here's a message. We lost. Get over it. We'll see what happens.
That's not Goofus. That's just a really miserable dude.
That's Eeyore. That's Eeyore and Gallant. Oh, well. Well, I guess, your perspective is where you're standing at the time, I guess. All right, everybody. Have a great night. We'll be back in your radios again tomorrow at 3 p.m. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Go